stupid question this morning. What are the warm winds that blow off of the Rocky Mountains called? 215-263 WMMR. We're going to go to Joyce and see if we can get the answer.
Good morning.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi.
All right, Joyce, what are those winds that blow off of the Rocky Mountains called, please?
Chinook winds?
The Chinook winds.
I didn't know that.
Hang on, Joyce. We got you. We're going to set you up with tickets to see Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. And it's Saturday, June 17th, the Met in Philadelphia. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. Complete details at WMMR.com. Casey, should we go to this call now?
Yeah.
Since they're on the line. I know we're doing the entertainment report, but we have our coolest teacher on the line ready to talk. So it was Northeast High School that got to vote. And they said that Matt Sislinski should be the coolest teacher, and Matt is on the line. Good morning, Mr. Sislinski.
Good morning, guys. Gadzooks.
Hey, Gadzooks to you. Did I butcher your name, or did I get it right?
No, actually got it pretty close.
How, say it again?
I said a lot of people mispronounce the S. It's Solinsky, silent S. But
Solinsky. All right, Solinsky. Got it. So in the ballpark. All right, well, listen. They voted for you, and you are now the coolest teacher at Northeast High School. And it says here on my little info sheet that we found out about you, you're a physical education teacher. You teach health. How many years have you been there now?
7 years now.
7 years. And how many total as a teacher?
All 7.
Oh,
All
wow.
7? All right. So, and then in that short time, relatively short time, you've totally eclipsed every other employee of the school.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. There's a lot of great teachers there, and there's a lot of competition up there. But it's an honor, to be honest.
That's awesome.
You've made an impact. You made an impact, and that's got to count. So that's and good on you for making people that inspired.
Matt, are you local? Did you grow up in the area?
I did. I actually grew up in Levittown, Pennsbury grad. So, Cassie, 5 points the Bucks come.
Yes!
Thank you.
Wait a minute. They can give out points now? Well,
Yeah, they can.
Actually, yeah, we should do that.
He won coolest teacher. One of the privileges, right?
Yeah. So, what all do you do outside of the of just the physical education side, the teaching side of things? What else are you involved in at the school?
Yeah, so we started a whole bunch of club sponsorship programs. So I also run the strength training club at Northeast. I coach the bowling team, and I coach the boys JV varsity volleyball team.
You guys have a bowling team?
We do.
Wow.
It's a club sport, but we're actually pretty good.
All right.
It's club sport. Okay.
Okay.
Nice. And listen, you're the strength and conditioning teacher. How big are these teenage exercise guru? These kids
Fanatics.
that are into exercise now.
Oh, they like it's so crazy to see the progression from their 9th grade year all the way up to their junior or senior year. They get pretty big. A lot of them, especially our football players, get big enough to the point where they're getting D1 offers, and then some of them are about to enter the draft, going to Texas A&M and Nebraska, and and all these D1 schools. And it's really exciting to be able to help them and see them guide them through all that.
It's a whole new breed. I remember the Universal in my high school was never touched. Forget about that.
Yeah. And it says here you're an Army veteran. How many years in the military?
I did 4 years in the military.
Nice. Well, thanks for doing that, of course, and thanks for everything that you do as a teacher and as a thank you, as a recognition of what great work you're doing, Matt. The kids are going to give you the coolest teacher of the year coffee mug, the Preston Steve coffee mug, and also we're going to give you a $50 gift card from our friends at Five Below. So congratulations, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, Matt Solinsky, Northeast High School, coolest teacher right there. And the next one we'll find out tomorrow morning, and that's Villa Maria Academy in Malvern.
Is the anomaly going to be if we get someone who's not a coach of some sort? Because it
Probably.
seems to be the run we're on right now.
Everybody seems to coach something. So that's great, man. We're happy to hear about it. So thank you. All right, I have a few stories to run by you. We're going to go with this one. Mike Tyson revealed on a podcast recently that Jamie Foxx suffered a stroke last month.
We had heard he was at an institute that dealt with the treatment of for stroke victims.
Correct, but I'm not sure what Mike knows about it, though.
I didn't know that.
They had said that, his family, Jamie's family, had said there was a medical complication. They didn't disclose what exactly it was. But Tyson said he's not feeling well. They said a stroke. However, the former boxer added that he didn't know the whole story. He essentially said, and I quote, "I have no idea what happened to him."
Okay.
So take that with a grain of salt.
Now,
But
kids.
he had heard it was a stroke. And they apparently this trauma center that he was sent to specializes in recovery following conditions such as stroke, spinal trauma, and traumatic brain injury. I think we would have known about traumatic brain injury or spinal trauma, so maybe a stroke is a more likely thing.
The first second we're actually, where he's seen talking or any video or photographs of him will allay a lot of this. And the fact that they're sitting on this right now makes me think it's a little bit more serious.
Wrong, yeah.
Speaking of strokes, Tom Arnold spoke with Entertainment Tonight at the FUBAR premiere on Monday about how suffering a mini stroke last year changed his life. He said, it changed big. I got kids. My kids, Jack and Quinn, are here. They're 10 and 7. I realized I better get in shape, and I better do it. He was talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He said he's had some, and he's a survivor, too.
Arnold's had a stroke?
He said he had mini strokes.
Okay.
So my mom has had several of those.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily
Debilitate.
have the full effects of a stroke, but they can see that there has been history of something that's happened in there, essentially bleeding in the brain.
Frankie Muniz has had mini strokes, and he's fine, but it can, it's not something you want to have.
So Tom Arnold lost 75 pounds following the stroke, and he's also shared at the time that he suffered massive organ failure 2 years beforehand.
Yeah.
He said, I think as you get older, you've gotten through some stuff, and it was a great wake-up call for me. He said, every day you wake up, and to also think that this is not unlimited. Like, I'm 64. My kids are very young. So each day you got to try and make your best day with those kids. It's money in the bank, the memories, the stuff we do together. And I'm very lucky. I'm lucky to be a father. I'm lucky to be alive.
Carpe banana.
Carpe banana.
He posted a photo the other day. He looks great. He looks like he's in pretty decent shape, and more power to him, because there were parts of his life where he did not look very good.
There are talks for a True Lies sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could work.
It could work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kim Kardashian is opening up about how she views relationships following her divorce from Kanye West.
I don't care.
On Monday's episode of the On Purpose with Jay Shetty podcast, she said that she doesn't consider their marriage to be a failure. She said,
Really?
Something I learned is that you cannot help people that don't want the help. She said you can't force your beliefs and project that on someone that thinks something totally different. Actually, she's kind of right there.
She's kind of right, but I don't want to give it to her.
I know. But the overall thing she says here, I kind of agree with. So she didn't name him directly, but she said it's okay to have those different views. It's why the world goes round. But if you don't align in the same values and morals and things at your core, then it's okay to realize that this life is so short and you should go and find the people that do align with what you really believe in. Well,
As a partner, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She added that
It does help.
she doesn't consider the relationship a failure just because it doesn't work out in the end. She said, sometimes I feel like people think that if a relationship doesn't work out, that it's a failure, but I don't really look at it like that. 15 years together, 10 years, that's not a failure. That's so beautiful, she said.
Goddamn right. What you don't want to do is surround yourself in your entire life with people that align with you so you can hear differing points of view. But in a marriage, I think you got to see a lot the same way. Not everything, because my wife, she likes to sleep with no fan on and 1,000 degrees.
Right, exactly.
I prefer sleeping the way a human would sleep.
It's not everything.
Not everything. I love her dearly.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeff Bridges gave fans a health update in a recent interview with AARP after the Big Lebowski star was diagnosed with cancer and suffered from COVID in 2021. He said that he was filming the Old Man show, and he said doing those fight scenes for the first episode, not knowing that he had a 9 by 12-inch tumor in his body. After undergoing chemotherapy, he caught COVID, and he said, I had no immune system to fight it. He said chemo had wiped that out, which made it really, really tough. He said, for me, cancer was nothing compared to the COVID.
Isn't that wild?
The Crazy Heart actor added that he spent 5 months in the hospital, received plasma from patients who had recovered from COVID, and now he's doing better. And he says that his tumor has shrunk to the size of a marble. So
That's excellent.
He's very happy about it.
9 by 12 inches, man?
Yeah, that's huge.
That is gigantic.
Is that like basketball size?
No.
Well, I mean,
12 inches, you're talking about a foot.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, you know what? Maybe.
So
I mean, it's
that's
like a sheet of paper, you know?
Maybe a
damn
bowling
big.
ball.
Yeah.
all right.
You like that showcase, right?
The Old Man?
Yeah.
I did. It wrapped up weird.
Okay.
I was like, oh, there's still another episode left, and there was not another episode left.
You sure you didn't do it, Kathy? You didn't just watch the last episode?
No. I took the whole journey, but
Right.
but the way it wrapped up, I was like, okay, maybe there's going to be another season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to circle back to Arnold Schwarzenegger for a moment. He told Entertainment Tonight at the FUBAR premiere on Monday that he became addicted to working out every day due to his father's insistence that he work out first thing in the morning. He said, I don't consider myself disciplined because something that I've done since I was a little kid was working out in the morning. He said, I remember when my father said, you cannot have breakfast first. You have to earn it. You have to do 200 sit-ups and push-ups. So that's how I grew up.
When I go away on vacation, I work out first thing in the morning so I can earn my cereal from Arnold Schwarzenegger's father. It's part of the deal.
He said, so now this is what I do. I am now addicted to working out every day. If I am going to work out on a particular day, I do try to do it as early as possible.
Well,
Just get
yeah,
it done.
we don't have that luxury during the week.
Nope.
Case, didn't you try that once?
Oh, I tried it
Working
one
out
time.
before work?
Yeah.
I tried it.
Yeah.
When I was training for I think it was my brown belt test, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it before work. I'm going to work out before work, and I'm going to work out after work. I did it like 2 times. I'm like, this is impossible.
way. Yeah.
I remember.
No way.
I was on a vacation, and I was in a gym at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And listen, you can get yourself up for it, but to me, it's not the optimum time. 2:30.
No.
Do you guys still consider Schwarzenegger sort of like, I don't know, a demigod? Because there's something about that guy that, like, he was my favorite action hero growing up, far more than Stallone. I loved every movie that Schwarzenegger was in. And I know he had, like, he didn't have as many box office hits in the late 90s and early 2000s or whatever, but there's something about that guy that seems much larger than life to me. And the fact that he's friends with Burt Kreischer blows my mind.
Do you know what I like? I like that he's become less so. I think he's become more of a him with his donkey or whatever he has in his house, and all those little idiosyncrasies. I think make him. Yeah, but yeah, think of where he populated in that pop culture realm, Nick, and where he was this perceived dumb bodybuilder who was actually very smart. Came into the country with Franco Columbo, Joe Weider brought them in. He was actually wealthy by the time he started to try to get into movies. He had a very successful bricklaying business. It's crazy.
We're in a day and age where we don't have as many movie stars anymore, like, guys that can carry franchises, individuals. And
Preston's the last one.
I know Preston. I mean, he's at last of a dying breed. But Schwarzenegger, to me, is just one of these guys. I don't know. There's something larger than life to me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yep, he's still in that realm, I think. Yep, and he agrees. According to talking about demigods, Ariana Maddox from Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my
yeah.
God!
Right.
She honestly, step aside, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, she didn't really move out of the house that she shares with her ex-boyfriend Tom
Oh, you're
Sandoval.
kidding! I've never watched this.
Real quick, I just need to ask. I have to poll everybody in this room. How many minutes of Vanderpump Rules have you ever watched in your entire life?
0.
I don't even know. I mention these people's names all the time. I don't even know who they are.
Kathy.
0.
Can we stop talking about?
Well,
these people?
it's very popular.
I know, but
I don't watch the Kardashians either. But you gotta.
But we have all watched bits and pieces of Kardashians.
He is the entertainment
I
end of
know.
it.
Well, that's why I asked. I took
Dude,
a poll.
this story,
I took a poll.
can't believe
this
this is a
story
is national
keeps
news.
surfacing, and I avoided it for a little while.
Okay,
But it
okay.
was happening so often. My responsibility as a journalist
Right.
It's true.
has
Journalist.
dictated that I report on
Okay,
these
well
stories.
then fine. You know what, man?
It's like,
He's so
why
mad.
didn't you report Pearl Harbor? I was
Yeah.
waiting for something bigger to break.
I don't ever like take a stand about anything. But anytime you talk about Vanderpump, I'm leaving the studio.
Stevie Casey is leaving the studio.
fine.
I can't believe there's a lot of things we talk about that I don't like at all. Like, I am surprised that this is what he.
Did we learn nothing,
Doesn't-
Kathy, from Kim Kardashian, who says you
Because-
can't surround yourself with people? who
You
just-
could put up a picture of 20 people,
back.
and the Vanderpumps could be. You wouldn't be able to pick up anyone. At least the Kardashians. We all know
But, like,
who they
why
are,
this?
and
Why-
you know what I mean. I'm
there's-
like, why
Are
do we
you-
even waste our
Have you ever
time?
heard of Scandival?
I'm out.
He's taking a stand.
Done talking about these clowns.
All right, we'll wave you back in when we're done.
Wow.
But this
25
listen,
years, he's never done that.
No.
But I just think it's weird that it's this.
I know.
There's so many things we talk about that.
Kyle with the vending machine thing. Things are getting to Casey lately. I don't know what it is.
we're broken.
We must be.
I do kind of admire that he took a stand on this. I just find that it was odd.
All right, well,
This was where he drew the line in the sand.
Odd.
let me
Not human
just,
trafficking.
right. Let me
Those stories are fine.
So she says that she didn't really move out of the house that she shares with her ex-boyfriend Tom Sandoval.
All right.
And while the Vanderpump Rules star was photographed loading boxes into a U-Haul and shared on her Instagram stories that she was ready to dip out, as we talked about yesterday.
dipping.
She's a dip ass.
Maddox later shared that it was a stunt. She said, "I'm moving up, not out. Well, not yet, at least," she
Like the
said in the
Jeffersons.
video, explaining that she staged the move for a brand partnership. And she said, "It's time to get my financial house in order. I will have more to share with you very, very soon."
The time I've seen I became familiar with Lisa Vanderpump from the show Pooch Perfect. She was one of the judges, and then I became aware of the Vanderpump Rules reality show.
Okay.
Somebody wanted to know if we could trade Vanderpump Rules for the connoisseur. Because the connoisseur.
Everyone hates. Now that we all agree, everyone hates the connoisseur. But had they asked them if they've tried out Connoisseur Plus, which now features a game show element?
It does.
Right.
It does.
All right,
in
I'll
fact,
find out,
I've got
Steve.
some
We
good.
took that rancid turd.
We'll probably have to do that tomorrow since we're going to be at Keenan's on Friday, but I have some new movie clips I think you guys will enjoy.
The winning's just beginning.
Yeah. All right, so a couple other quick things. Kevin Hart took to Instagram recently to share his love for his daughter, Heaven, as she prepared to go to her prom. He said, "I have no words, just pure joy." And the father duo were posing ahead of the big event. And he said, "My little girl looked unbelievable yesterday. Where does the time go?"
It's a beautiful picture because he's sitting on her shoulders, and she's in her gown.
Casey's back.
Oh,
Did you manage to find a sandwich while you were out?
Yeah, Bert Kreischer dropped off some bagel sandwiches. And
what did you go foraging? Look, his daughter looks like she looks very familiar.
Gabrielle Union a little bit?
Gabrielle Union. I
Yeah,
would
Maybe
say.
just a little bit. It's kind of it's not a close-up shot, but or Gabrielle.
Bring it on.
Union,
yeah,
should
I was
say,
thinking
yeah.
maybe she looks a lot like Lisa Vanderpump because I have no idea what that chick looks like.
Okay. Have a bite of your sandwich.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman's last appearance in a Star Wars film was in 2005, but the closer actress shared in a recent GQ video series that she'd be open to starring in another one.
Dead.
When a fan asked Portman, that's right, she died in birth.
Yeah.
When a
Uba. Did we not hear Uba?
When a fan asked Portman if she would reprise her role as Padme in the future, she replied, "I have no information on this. No one's ever asked me to return, but I'm open to it."
She's currently working on the Lisa Vanderpump story.
We can only hope.
I think a lot of people have gotten a better appreciation for that second trilogy. I did not like Phantom Menace, but the other two films I thought had some really solid moments.
I haven't watched them in so long, I couldn't tell you. All right, and then one final story. Julia Fox told Page Six at the Cannes Film Festival that she and her friend Sarah Apple co-wrote a script for a movie called Lipstick Palm.
What?
The Uncut Gems star. Which, by the way, I finally saw. When you say that,
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was from the movie.
No,
it's not. It was from an interview that she did.
Yeah, Uncut Gems.
And she's got a really weird way that she talks like that.
Have you seen Uncut Gems, though?
No.
It's very good in it.
I heard it's intense.
It is very intense.
So she described the plot as Weekend at Bernie's meets Spring Breakers. She said it's about these two girls. They're in L.A. They are classic. One is an aspiring actress. The other is a nepotism baby. She said, but her dad had like 7 kids, so the pool has been diluted. They're drug addicts, so they are in recovery, but they are always in and out. There is a dead body involved somewhere.
I don't give a f***.
So we'll see if that has magic. Spring Breakers meets Weekend at Bernie.
That's kind of the movie we've all been waiting for.
All right, we're ready for clips now. Halle Bailey has inspired a new generation of young women as she takes on the role of Ariel in The Little Mermaid. And here she talks about her own role models.
I had amazing role models before me, like Brandy as Cinderella and Anika Rose as Princess Tiana. So to kind of join them as one of the Disney princesses is an immense blessing for me, and the reactions are what keep me going.
I don't give a f***.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. The Little Mermaid hits theaters on Friday. Here's our next clip. Actor Jimmy Tatro is taking on the role of young Bert Kreischer in the upcoming film The Machine.
Yeah.
And in this clip, he explains the definition of a kickback. Here we go.
Okay, so a kickback is a kickback's more of a casual, like the amount of people we have here right now, it could be a kickback, but with an intention of drinking.
I don't know what that means, but
The Machine is in theaters on Friday. Is kickback a phrase that's being thrown around in the movie?
kickback to me is a financial gain that you get back, from something you're involved in. Not unless he's actually talking about a physical kickback.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, anyhow, The Machine opens on Friday, which is awesome. And I think I have an idea of doing a quick little tribute for The Machine and Bert.
Okay.
At Keenan's on Friday. So I'll tell you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and we're looking forward to that, and we're excited for our buddy Bert and his movie opening up. All right. In preparation for our holiday weekend, how about we set you up with a case of beer right now? I can give away for caller number 20 a case of Victory Motel Paloma.
Paloma.
And you got to try Victory Brewing's Motel Paloma. It's the beer of the summer. Grapefruit, blood orange, tangy lime, super crushable, and out now. Victory's Motel Paloma. That should be like their phrase. So caller 20 at 215-263-WMMR. You are good to go. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. We'll go live on Fox Good Day. We have a secret text word, by the way, a chance for you to win tickets to see Andrew Schultz, July 29th at the Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. So text the word secret to 39333. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
This Memorial Day
Wearing Crocs. The two actors met while teaming up for Kravitz's directorial debut. Have you heard of this movie? It's called Pussy Island.
No.
Yeah.
I like it.
The Magic Mike star told Deadline, I totally loved Crocs for a hot second, and in one hang, she was like, you can't ever do that again. And I said, okay, fine.
Okay, so the bigger question is, what's the plot of Pussy Island?
I think it's not what you think it is. I think the name...
About vaginas?
It's not that.
Oh, okay.
It's something else. At least that's what I read a blurb. I didn't go into detail about it, but I heard it's not supposed to be vulgar.
Like Lord of the Buttholes.
There you go. It's pretty much the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of the conch, they blow something else.
Exactly.
Right. Kravitz insists that she was just trying to be a good friend, adding, there are people out there who can pull off the Crocs thing. I just wasn't sure you were one of them.
Didn't we just hear, though, that the Crocs have come back into quasi-fashion?
Maybe, but I mean, if anybody could pull them off, it's Channing Tatum. That guy can wear whatever he wants, and it'll be fashionable.
Marissa is scanning to find out the plot of Pussy Island, and I can't read that. It's too tiny. Hang on a second here. Frida is young, clever Los Angeles cocktail waitress who has her eyes set on the prize. Philanthropist and tech mogul Slater King. When she skillfully maneuvers her way into King's inner circle and ultimately an intimate gathering on his private island. She's ready for a journey of a lifetime. Maybe it does mean pussy.
Is this kind of like a Jeffrey Epstein thing?
I don't know.
Impossible.
I do not know.
Vagina.
What would it be harder to lick the inside of my ear or the inside of my belly?
No, belly button.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about butthole?
Just set. No. Oh my God, no.
Well, honestly, it's just a common thing. You ask anybody at work. Would you mind licking my butthole? I'm sure that's being asked in every business. But I mean, that's just simply for a scientific test.
No, somebody recently told me that guys love that.
No,
that is incorrect.
Listen, there may be some that dig that.
No, I do not.
Yeah, I know. We
She
know
goes,
why.
they'll go wild.
What?
No.
Who said that?
I swear to God.
Who?
All right, write it down.
Diane, your wife.
Oh, dare. Because I thought it was Jerry. I thought it was your mom.
Yeah, your mom who won't let you eat gum out of a vending machine is encouraging you to toss people salad.
When does it become that act?
We should call it a hobby. You should call it a blow hobby.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
Right. And then maybe
All right.
we'll dig it more.
let's
So
use
you're saying
How about a hand hobby, please?
let's use euphemisms if we're going to do that.
Feel free.
So, when is it stop being a handy and become a hand hobby?
Yeah.
When does it stop being a blowy and become a blow hobby?
I think they're both the same.
Well,
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying when it stops becoming
It's
a
like
job,
anal sex
right?
hobby.
You don't want it to be a job.
correct. But when? Well, crap.
All right, never mind.
I can't do it.
We're never gonna be able to get into the meat.
It's a nuance that we can't.
So
Are you talking about finishing?
Yes.
I thought
Well,
you
you
were talking
always
about,
should finish any job you start.
Thank you.
I thought you were talking
Let's
about.
put a button in it right there.
My parents always taught me that.
Finish every
You
job.
don't quit in the middle. This I do know. Yoplait, the yogurt company, has now introduced a yogurt they call Gushers. Yeah.
Man.
Well, that's a candy, right?
It was,
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, not
right?
a candy.
It was a gum.
No, it was like
I'm
a fruit.
Peter North, and I'm very excited about a new product line from Yoplait called Gushers.
Tell me more, Peter.
I've been part of the R&D on this product for quite a long time.
Oh, my God.
It was like a fruit snack,
Fruit snack.
right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And for ladies, squirters.
Oh my God.
Pizza Hut seems to be trying to bring in new customers by reviving old menu items, and the latest is what they call the Edge, part of the chain's nostalgia campaign.
My name is Bono, and I'd like to introduce a new pizza sensation to you. It's called The Edge. Some people say this is a revolutionary pizza, but it's not. It's a pizza that's been here before, probably in your own big fat belly. Remember what we say here, avoid the noid.
That's Domino's. This is Pizza Hut. All right, so it's called the Edge, and
It's called The Edge.
Pizza Hut considers the Edge. It was first introduced in 1997, and they call the Edge a tavern-style pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It's cut into 16 squares and comes in a cracker-thin crust.
I remember this.
Geometrically perfect and a taste sensation that'll rock your world.
And it will be available at participating Pizza Hut locations.
Order now and receive a mid-sized Coke.
Mid-size.
It'll be available at participating locations nationwide for about $13.
So I did Pizza Hut just not that actually that long ago. It was probably during Lent, and I did it because we had been talking about it. I'm like, I
You're a
haven't.
man of faith.
Well, I hadn't had a Pizza Hut pizza in a long time, so I ended up getting a regular pizza, and then I got the stuffed crust pizza. And I know that you guys are all out on stuffed crust. I thought the stuffed crust was.
You're a filthy animal.
I know, but I thought it was markedly better.
I'm not out on stuffed crust, but I just don't order it. You know what I
Too
mean?
much.
I know, and I
Why don't they just take a fire hose and spray cheese on you as you come in?
Right.
So this pizza, looking at it, I'm glad thin crust has kind of made its way around the country because I grew up in St. Louis. This pizza called the Emos. You guys know I've talked about it for years. That's what it is. It's this thin crust
your
pizza.
version of The Edge.
It's cut in squares. That's the way they've always cut it, and it's been since I was a baby. Essentially that that I've had that. So
Suckling at your mother's teeth.
I prefer this type pizza. I'm glad that it's made its way around.
And so I don't actually ever remember this as a menu item. So
I don't
you
remember
guys,
this from Pizza Hut either, Steve.
I do.
I remember Domino's.
You do?
I do remember this, yeah, and I remember it because of like the way that they were able to cram as much pizza on as thin a crust as possible and get it all the way to the edge. Hence the name.
Well, this was kind of like you said, 97, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that was past at least my Pizza Hut days. I think the last time I had Pizza
Really?
Hut, I was in like middle school.
You were
Yeah.
not in college or on ordering pizza.
The time at downtown Julie Brown.
Wubba wubba wubba.
No, Nick, you know.
Wubba wubba was the battle cry as they took to the pizzas. And the ovens flamed with the fires of edginess.
Wubba wubba.
So Nick, we had like the famous like pizza restaurant that we would go to
Yeah.
in Westchester.
What famous pizza restaurant was it?
More's, I think it was called. More's.
That's a
That's amores. It's love.
We had Oips.
College towns always have the the local pizza joints.
Yeah,
It's
Marcellus.
fantastic. The one at University of Missouri
Harry Coterie.
was Shakespeare's, and it was outstanding.
Original Italian pizza, Oips. Everybody ordered.
Oips?
Yeah, original Italian pizza is what that stood for, and that was the college town pizza. Yeah, so but you
okay.
wouldn't order from OIP. You'd Oips. That's
I like
Oips.
that. Yeah.
All right, let me move on to something else. You had mentioned your mustard, Nick.
Yes.
You may want to try that on watermelon. It's the latest thing that people have been sampling. Lizzo kind of made a big deal about it on TikTok. So she had she made a video of her doing some funny TikTok things where there's some edits and all of a sudden the watermelon appears and so on.
So this to me, Preston, seems like the old thing of putting salt on watermelon.
Yeah, I grew up putting salt on watermelon. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But they had said it was to bring out the sweetness by adding the salt, and
I heard that on cantaloupe. Honeydew.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. Same thing. Kids.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like them.
Any melon will do.
So here's the thing.
Doesn't matter if it's a cantaloupe or a honeydew or a cassava. Any melon covered in salt will bring out the sweetness of the savory. Living together on one melon the way we should all live together.
Now people are trying mustard.
Now they're trying mustard just like Lizzo.
Yeah, so, but the jury's out on whether she thought it was good or not. So she had called it, is it bussin' or disgusting?
Is it bussin' or disgusting?
But she never really,
Is it bussin' or disgusting?
in this video, said whether it was bussin' or disgusting. So
No, she doesn't. And I think, so the common thing of like sea salt and caramel.
Yes.
Right.
So to me, that does work. And some things that I thought would never work do work. I don't know about the watermelon and the mustard. It just seems to be too combating.
Yep.
I'm tying it into the previous conversation. We used to do mustard on pizza.
Okay. I can see that.
Why did
I
you
don't
do
know.
that?
I'm not sure. Somebody.
Ranch dressing, Kathy.
Ew, no. That's just
You
for
said,
the,
"Ooh, no,"
that's
but
for
you
the
put-
crust, right? Or the whole pizza.
You can do the whole pizza.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
should-
I know.
we
I
should've
said
gotten
ew, no,
watermelon.
yet I put mustard on pizza. Sorry.
We should have taste tested this.
Casey, when's the last time you've had ranch dressing on pizza?
It's been a while.
been a while?
At least like 2 or 3 days.
Okay. All right.
Do we have something that could approximate a melon and put some mustard on it?
Wait, I might. Let me see if I have.
Do you keep a melon in your desk
No,
drawer?
I
No,
might have
Kathy
watermelon.
brings a ton of fruit every day, remember?
Can we try that?
Fruit salad.
Yes.
Go see if you have watermelon.
Yummy.
We'll try it.
Let's get it.
I'm sure
Kathy rises to the challenge.
there's got to be mustard in the fridge.
Yes.
Connor, can you go look in the fridge and see if there's any mustard?
Let's try it.
Or Marissa's already on her way. But yeah, I got to believe no matter what, it's not good. And this is just a thing that people have done to make you eat mustard on
Preston,
watermelon. Here, try this.
People are eating Tide Pods, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Here's a text. Somebody says, my husband always puts pepper on his cantaloupe.
What?
Interesting.
What, in prison?
No.
Oh.
But I've had, I've had fruit in salads before, and you put pepper. Like, there's strawberry salads and things like that.
Do you know what I
Put pepper on
do?
that.
So, and it's a weird. So, Honey Grow, I do the like a sesame noodle. Whatever they call it. It's a salad, I guess it is.
Okay.
But pineapple in that. So something, pineapple and sesame and a sesame sauce work together really well.
I could see that work. Sometimes when you have like a teriyaki dish.
Yes,
there'll be
exactly.
pineapple in that.
That's the same thing.
Sesame oil in usually in that. So that'll play along.
It's great.
Let's see if Kathy is.
Jennifer melons. Where's Kathy's melons?
Hang on. Here we go.
They're usually on display.
That in a non-sexual way. In the way she has a 44-pound.
We got it.
We do.
So you got watermelon. So we can try this. Should I just hold off until we get
Hold
this?
off.
All right. Because
Hold.
now we're in
That's from
Braveheart.
Braveheart. Yeah, there we go. I got you.
Freedom! Do you want to live in chains, or do you want to live with salt on your watermelon? Ah!
Mustard!
My God.
It's a Friday.
It is a Friday. Isn't it?
I know.
On 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Later on this morning, we're going to have Nate Berkus on, who is going to tell us about the way to create a stylish, multifunctional outdoor living space this summer.
Outdoor living space,
Yes.
multifunctional.
And
This is my realm.
It's your jam. And also
wait.
he's done some Great Wolf Lodge stuff, right?
Yeah,
He's-
he designed. They redid the whole outdoor space there, and he redesigned it all.
I love Great Wolf Lodge.
Yes,
Been
I
there
know
many
you do.
times.
I love
I'm too bad that I'm upset that my kids are we're too
Aged
old to
out
go
of
there
it,
now.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Want to take me?
All right, we're gonna. Yeah, I should take you,
Daddy.
Right now, though, we're gonna take a trip to the Just Sayin Institute. Just Sayin.
The Just Sayin Institute, home of the Casey Foster Lisa Vanderpump Appreciation Center.
Saying.
By the way, somebody texted in, Casey, and said you should have a Snickers bar because you're not yourself when you're angry.
I wasn't even angry. I think it's a waste of our time.
Now, from the Just Saying Institute, have you guys ever heard of a thing called the everything shower?
Yes.
No. I have not.
I've heard of an everything bagel.
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you want to explain it?
He's right. Everything bagel.
Oh, okay. No, the everything shower. It's unlike the standard lather, rinse, and repeat. The everything shower is a time to do pretty much everything. So rituals vary from person to person. The routine may begin with some pre-shower prep, such as applying a hair mask, a face mask, even teeth whitening strips.
I do that.
There may also be soothing candles or music in the mix. And then comes the actual shower, which could involve several steps of skin cleansing, loofah scrubbing, dry brushing, and multiple rounds of shampoo and conditioner.
No, I take like a military shower.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But there are times where I do, not to that full extent, but I tried the dry brushing and all that kind of stuff.
What's
for a
dry
while.
brushing?
It's that a dry brush, and you basically brush your skin. It helps with like circulation. You can like do your legs. You go in like a circular motion, or you brush down. I forget what the actual rules are. No.
So it's not an
It's for your skin.
All right, how is it dry if you're in the shower?
Well, it's typically not. The one that I had was not.
Okay,
it was
so
like,
this maybe you do it right before you get in the water.
Yeah, before or after.
Okay. And so it's a brush to maybe get the excess skin off of the top layer. Is that what that is?
I guess it could.
Like an exfoliant?
Mine was being used for circulation in my body.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody brush their teeth in the shower?
I do. Not all the time.
I do.
Rochelle does. She keeps her toothbrush and toothpaste in the shower. I don't like to do it that way.
Neither do I.
But
That's where I poop.
Wow.
That's her thing.
That's kind of the only bathroom activity, Steve, that I've never done, at least on purpose, in the shower.
Well, you pee.
Yeah. I pee in the shower. I've shaved, brushed
and
my
pleasure
teeth.
yourself.
But I kind of get this because there are times where yes, like you'll do a quick shower or your normal shower, and then there are days, and I don't set them aside, but I'm like, oh, I have a little bit extra time. Okay, I'm gonna do the face treatment, then that,
and tie it all together,
and tie it all together in that shower.
If I'm going to spend extra time, it's just to I incrementally make the water hotter and hotter and hotter, and then eventually just you're kind of like doing a standing up hot tub routine. So that's what I will do. What?
Your wife is the psychopath who will get into the shower and then turn the water on.
Turn it on.
No,
I don't know how she does it.
No.
Well, there's the whole trend with the cold tubs, the ice tubs that people were buying. So people are doing this now, and at the end of their shower, they're turning it to freezing
Seamus
cold.
is doing that now.
I mean, she's essentially doing that in the beginning.
I could see that. I could see after a really hot shower because I love a swimming pool hot tub combination where you can get in the pool, it's kind of chilly, then you get warm up in the hot tub, and then right before you get to put your clothes back on, you jump back in the cold water. I like that last minute cool thing. But no way am I about to just step into the shower and just turn the water
My
on.
ritual is when I leave work in the morning, I turn the shower on in preparation for tomorrow morning shower.
There you go.
So it's
That's a
hot
good
enough.
idea.
Yeah.
No, I found that the optimum amount of time is while I'm brushing my teeth. The water warms up perfectly for me. So that's what I do.
I want it hot.
I brush my teeth after the shower.
No, I do. I use it as because
After you've cleaned out your butt?
time management at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, sure.
I use the brushing teeth of the to be the warm up for the shower.
I get it. That's logically sound. I approve. But you and Steve shower every morning. Casey and I and Kathy, I think, too, shower. We're not together, but shower at night.
We should though save water.
Yeah. But what I like to do, Preston, when I shower in the evening is I use the shower head to pre-brush. So that'll be my water pick in the shower, and then I feel like I've accomplished something.
You blow the
I know what you're
shower
talking about.
nozzle into your mouth? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
By the way, it says here also.
I like to make, dude. Do you ever do this with the water into your mouth? Do you make jet sounds with it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it actually, Steve makes a really great jet
I have no
sound.
doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what
As
you
the
mean.
water is coming into your mouth, you blow out.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Top Gun jets.
Yeah, do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
He's right.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No.
All right, record it.
What I need is you to illustrate
All right.
this, to show this to
I'll
me.
live stream from the shower
Record
tonight,
it.
and I'll send it to you guys.
I'll hold the shower head for you.
I would say that it's bizarre that Casey does this, but then that Nick completely agreed and does the same thing.
We could shower
One of
together.
you tomorrow or tonight, since you take your evening showers,
Yeah.
take the phone in there.
Okay.
All right.
And film yourself doing this because I need to see what you're talking about. I don't know the jet sound thing.
Your phone is water resistant.
Okay.
No,
I mean, I know I
Also-
can do it without water, just
Right.
that type
Oh, it
of
sounds
thing.
way
but-
better than that.
Yeah, because you get the echo of the shower,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I think was it Ridley Scott or Tony Scott? I think that's what they used as like the sound producers in
Right.
Top Gun and Maverick. Preston, I don't know if it sounds the same outside of my ears though. That's the thing. In my own ears, it sounds. I don't know what it sounds like to somebody listening.
But I still want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
By the way, it says here also in an everything shower after the shower, people might indulge in some all over body moisturizing as well as hair drying and makeup applying makeup.
Moving up.
But according to Dr. Cameron Rookshar, who is a board-certified dermatologist and founder of the New York Cosmetic Skin and Laser Surgery Center, showering for long periods of time can actually dry out the skin.
I've heard that. Yeah.
He said, we know for a fact that hot water dries out your skin, and extremely hot water is even worse. And the longer you stay in the shower, the drier your skin becomes.
Do you ever have the situation where, like, there are parts, it's like almost like scratching your back with the hot water, where it feels good, like the same sensation as if you were scratching an itch?
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Right.
Yeah, when you
Mostly in the winter. Yeah.
You get dry skin.
Exactly.
I don't think I've experienced that.
There's a whole
this
bunch
and
of
the jet thing. I need to get it. I got to get with it.
You and I routinely take quick showers, so that's
Yes.
in and out and do the deal. And do you do any more in your shower regimen? Do you bring in office work?
No, but there are I'm thinking of all of, and it's mainly based around the products that I have.
Okay.
So I'll have like an exfoliate. I have to exfoliate my face.
Right.
There's one in the shower, so I haven't used it in a week or whatever. So
Right.
I'll do that. There's like a mask that goes on my face that stays on for 15 minutes.
I'd love to see that.
There's all the dry brushing I did for a little while. That was annoying because that was took forever.
Kathy, how often and how many times a week do you wash your hair?
I wash my hair every other day.
Okay, and so every other time you shower, essentially?
Yeah.
Like every other shower? Okay.
Well, no, because I shower multiple times in a day, but every other day I wash my hair. Today's a hair washing day.
Yay!
Exciting.
By the way, somebody texted and said, do you guys use your hand as a squeegee to remove the water off of your body before you reach for your towel?
No.
I do that.
I do kind of
Yeah.
air dry in the shower before I get out a little bit, for like a minute.
Yeah, I'll just kind of do a quick,
No.
pushing
Let
the
your
excess
dog
water
lick
off.
all the water off first, right?
What's that?
Let your dog lick all the water off first.
Sure.
It's
I
great.
squeegee the walls of the shower, and so
Oh.
by the time I finish that, I'm partially dried.
So I do that. I do the glass part,
Yeah.
and then I squeegee down all that stuff so you don't get that buildup.
The hard water buildup,
Right.
yeah.
And I do left arm dry, right arm dry, head dry, and then I open up the door and then step out onto the mat, and then I do the rest of the body dry. And then I take a big dump.
So Dr. Cameron Rookshar recommends staying in the shower for no more than 15 minutes at a time. But if you're going to take a longer shower, it's crucial to follow up with a thick moisturizer over the entire body.
So that I don't do.
All right.
Then I've been told I have very soft skin.
Is there anything in this study about cold baths and
No.
like plunging and stuff? Okay, yeah. I've just read a lot about that lately and like the benefits for athletes and stuff. It boggles the mind. I have no interest in it, but people are claiming it's great, especially post-workout.
I tried it one time in the shower, and I was like, I hate cold water. I am not doing this again. But these everything showers, I'm reading that it's beneficial for mental health. Like it's sort of just like a way to relax.
I
and,
see that.
It's
Yeah.
like Calgon, take me away. That's
Totally.
yeah.
I have been doing the sauna more often. I'm doing that like post-workout these days, and it took a little while, but now I enjoy it.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are down with the,
Not
sitting in the hot.
post-workout.
Yeah.
Like after a workout, I don't want to be hotter.
I'm already sweaty, so that's
Yeah.
why I think I'm okay.
I'll do it
I
after a
can-
workout.
I can do the heat. Any of that, like the sauna, all of that stuff. I like that stuff. But the cold, like the cryotherapy, I've done a number of times. It
Don't
is
like
like
it?
I have to force myself to
Yeah.
go and do that. And the same thing with I tried. Like I said, I tried the cold shower. It was awful.
Yeah.
I'm just I can't do it.
A shower in the morning is essential for my waking up process.
I agree.
It has to be hot and do.
Los Angeles discovered that smoking cannabis does not pose the same risks as smoking tobacco. They conducted a study using longitudinal data published in the journal Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease. which revealed that cannabis use does not increase the likelihood of developing COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, even among individuals with a high clinical risk for the disease. So I always thought, listen, you're taking smoke into your lungs, and that you could probably end up with COPD. Now, it's not good for you to do it.
No, it's not.
Without question, but it's not the same thing as tobacco smoke.
I wonder how much of that is based on the fact that your average cigarette smoker is smoking more frequently than your average pot smoker.
Yeah, I don't know. The researchers examined a group of middle-aged and older individuals who were either current or former tobacco smokers and found no connection between cannabis smoking and the progression or development of COPD. It says no connection.
What about emphysema?
Don't know.
Because here's the deal.
I don't know what the difference between that and COPD are.
The spelling.
Well, and there's tons of research saying that it does damage to the lungs.
Yeah.
It might be not the same as cigarettes, but it's not healthy for your lungs.
Dr. Mike says, and she's right, anytime you bring something into your lungs like that, it's going to cause damage.
Well, just take a look at the end of a joint or a bowl or a bong after several uses. There's a ton of resin and stuff in there. So whatever's happening there is also happening inside your body, I would imagine, right?
I don't know. I would assume I would assume so as well. But what is the difference between emphysema and COPD? Is one more deadly than the other?
I think
do we know?
Well, like Carson died from emphysema. Johnny Carson.
He was a lifelong smoker, right?
He was a hardcore smoker. I don't know.
Here's a study
I think
pulled
they're
up
similar.
that answers Casey's question.
All right,
Emphysema is more common in marijuana smokers than cigarette.
Okay. It says 75% in this study. I don't know where this is from.
Just Sayin Institute.
75%
Society.
of marijuana smokers had emphysema versus 67% in tobacco-only smokers. So little less than 10%.
Remember the thing they used to call popcorn lung with the vaping?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Popcorn lung. And you don't hear about that much these days.
And that had to do with... was it nicknamed that because of microwave popcorn?
That's what it was.
Breathing that in is not good as well.
I don't know. I remember popcorn
something
lung
about
didn't
that.
sound good to me. I know. That's all I remember.
So emphysema is included under the COPD umbrella.
Okay.
All right, hang on. Dr. Mike's on the line.
There we go.
Let's get the good doctor. Head Medicine and Fox 29, which we're going to go live on in about, 15, 20 minutes. Dr. Mike, good morning.
Well, hello there. So emphysema is it's the same. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is the term that we use, and that happens when people have smoked for a long period of time. Other things can cause it, but the bottom line is that when it comes to marijuana, to pot, as you said, Steve, I don't like putting anything in my lungs. And to look at the literature, there are less carcinogens in marijuana than there are tobacco. Okay. So there's no question about it. Tobacco smoke has about 4,000 different entities that can cause cancer. And so there is some benefit, but I'm not a big fan of putting anything in the lungs. And I have a patient who smoked pot their entire life and have damage to their lungs because of some of the plant stuff that they use to kill insects and stuff.
Oh, sure,
like that.
Right.
So he has inhaled that. So I just don't believe in putting anything in your lungs. And there's some literature coming out about, especially developing brains and adolescents and people with a history of mental illness. Got to be careful with this. And I'm all about free will and liberalizing the use of marijuana, but it's not for everybody, and you don't want to use it too much.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I certainly understand the being wary when smoking anything, but that begs the question of your perspective on edibles medically.
Well, I think they're better than inhaling anything. That's for sure. The problem with edibles is that some people don't feel the effects right away,
yes.
And then they overdo it, and then they end up with problems.
Yes.
And still, I don't want someone doing anything like that and then driving a truck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What about a
I
car?
just get nervous about that. And Steve, you and I have talked about this. I mean, the bottom line is that there's all kinds of poisons out there. I mean, alcohol causes about 7 different cancers, and so what you want to try to do is to find something in your life that gets you to that place where you don't need a chemical, you don't need something to get you calm.
May I recommend something, Mike? Radio-controlled aircraft.
Yes.
Well, that's why I was, I was a loner in high school. But the bottom line is that you want to do the things that you mentioned. Look, and the hot shower story, I think it's great. Chicago had a song called "An Hour in the Shower." Probably not good for your skin, but it's a place where you can go and relax.
Yeah.
And you have to find ways to de-stress. And Steve, you and I have talked about it. You need a hobby. You need something to let go. I think, Preston, golf is your thing.
That is.
You need somewhere where you can go. So you don't have to get high. You get high on
life.
That is good for you.
Yes, we do talk about that. I'm a big proponent of that. But so in this case, at least on this general information, pot comes out a little ahead of knowing that you don't want to really bring anything alien into your lungs that way. But if you're going to err on the side of caution, pot,
lesser of two evils.
From purely a carcinogenic perspective, there's much less in terms of carcinogens in pot than there is in tobacco.
However,
there's no redeeming value to tobacco. I'm telling you.
But don't overdo it, especially if you're in a developmental stage in your life.
Oh, God, forget it, man. Forget it. The brain is this beautiful machine developing and growing. And if you're an adolescent, don't do it, man.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
All right.
Love it. Love you.
Words of knowledge from Dr. Mike. Love you. All right, we'll see you, Dr. Mike.
Love you.
I told them that people use now, they say, I love you like Dr. Mike. And I go, really? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's go somewhere else to Just Saying Is to. We got the good doctor's information, and now back to all the professors and statisticians at work.
This is an incredible facility if you stop and think about it. It's basically the size of West Virginia.
So did you know this? That 92% of all UFO sightings in the world take place in the United States.
Yeah, I knew that.
Since record keeping began, 126,094 sightings have been reported. Canada has the second most sightings with 5,696, and the UK comes
mostly
in
dragons, right?
In third with 3,146 sightings, but the U.S. is 126,000, so way more.
So what's Canada's number again?
5,696.
All right, so a bit more rural in a lot of spots, but this is a big country here. I wonder all the stuff that's coming out now about the different, whether it be the CIA or other letter agencies releasing information that they've collected about unidentified flying objects, not necessarily extraterrestrial, but it's kind of interesting.
UFOs in Canada tend to stick around for over 5 hours, and the most common UFO description is of strange lights in the sky.
Take me to Tim Hortons.
Interestingly, in France, the most common UFO shape is a triangle. Which states spot the most unidentified objects in the sky? They would be California, Florida, Washington, Texas, and New York.
Arizona?
They make up the top 5. No,
there's more
it or
people
not.
in all those states too.
Okay,
it's true.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you know? And I just looked this up. There are more people in California than there are in all of Canada.
I did not know that.
There's 39 plus million in California and 38 million in all of Canada.
Wow.
There was like some documentary thing that I saw. It had to have been on Netflix, but there was UFO sightings, and it was in Canada where the UFO showed up all the time. And as a matter of fact, at one point they were interviewing these people, and back in the window you saw it like show up like, hello. And it was like clockwork.
So this UFO or UFOs would appear at the same time?
Yeah, these people.
Was there any attempt at giving it a worldly or a logical explanation, or could they explain what the story was?
Yeah, I wish I could remember exactly how everything shook out, Steve. But
did it involve Reese's Pieces?
No.
Yeah, no. Damn it. Because that's my favorite kind of alien.
Yeah, they love them on Queef Splat.
Absolutely.
By the way. That's their favorite.
Yeah, I was a botanist.
So let's see. The subject, this is according to the investigator Nick Pope. He said the subject has come out in the fringe and into the mainstream, which has led to lots more people speaking out about their own sightings and encounters as well.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
You say you believe you saw a UFO. Again, we don't.
No. I saw what turned out to be a
rocket launch.
A rocket launch.
Yeah.
I don't believe in. I believe in intelligent life elsewhere.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe in that. But I think the size of everything the scope is just astronomical, just way too big that we have multiple, visitors hanging around and taking a look at things.
It's crazy stuff.
I don't believe it. What do you believe?
I believe the stuff that's coming out now, there's a lot of stuff that's inexplicable. So I'm a little bit more open to interplanetary travel or wormhole technology or from within our own planet.
Extraterrestrial,
right, or interdimensional travel.
Never thought about that.
But Loch Ness, that's a crock of crap.
Yeah, Steve, I don't disagree with you, but you know what gets my goat?
Yeah.
Is
might be his.
You don't know boo.
No, like conspiracy theories surrounding it. Like if these things happen, they're so vast and they're so big that there's no way it could be covered up at this point. There's too many phones out there with too many cameras.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't
I'm
buy
coming
into
around.
that.
I'm coming around.
On conspiracy theories?
No, and there's some things that I've long held true that I'm like, I don't know. And then you see stuff starts to come out, and it's, you would figure, but it turns out, look at how Blofeld he had a whole goddamn operation inside a volcano.
Yeah. That's a good
Not
point.
one guy would go to the Wawa and go, by the way, I work in a volcano. So,
Right.
People, the
Those
way they
guys
are
gotta
with their
eat.
volcano secrecy.
Yeah.
I remember, and you'll like this because it's Batman related. In the Justice League, there was somebody had written out a dissertation on how it would have been impossible for Bruce Wayne to keep quiet the way they built that lab underneath a lake. And how it would be absolutely impossible for one person to put all that together.
You would figure, right, that somebody somewhere, by the way, Ed, tell him about the lake you're working under.
Right. But if you watched Better Call Saul, because they kind of go into how Gus Frayne built the underground lab, and he was able to get these people from overseas and have them do all of this work. It was under like very, very covert like operations, and they were paid handsomely. NDA agreements and all that stuff. So
and if they can make you disappear, as they say,
well,
like Sasquatch does, takes out the people who are lipping off too much.
The people that did this disappeared.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, maybe the Batcave is possible. I don't know.
I want one if it is.
Let's see where else we can go. The Just Saying Institute. A UK study found that morning sex may be more satisfying than afternoon or nighttime romps. And the best time to do it is 7:30 in the morning.
Right.
Researchers,
just before the what is it? The half hour into GMA.
Researchers took data from 500 men and 500 women aged 18 to 65. Participants rated their enjoyment of sex out of 10. Enjoyment of sex out of 10.66%. Chose morning sex as the most satisfying, and only 2% said 11 p.m. was the best time. The survey also found that most people focused best at 10 a.m. and craved a snack at 3:30 in the afternoon. 27% of participants started to crave an alcoholic drink around 6 p.m.
So if you're talking the weekend, that's about. I doubt you ever wake the missus up at 2:30 in the morning. Go, let's go for it.
No, but it's but they're saying that the most satisfying time to have sex is 7:30 in the morning. I'm not a big fan of morning sex.
Well, bad breath. You have to go.
I'm waking up.
Yeah, you haven't had your cereal.
Even in my prime.
Yeah. Haven't had your blueberry.
I don't think that mornings were. No, I'm more of a. Let me get up, get my day going, and
what's funny though is for dudes, it's a great way to go to sleep, right?
Yeah,
because there's like that natural sedative that happens after you cross the finish line, and so like if there is morning sex involved, I just want to go back to bed afterwards. But if it's night sex, I'm like, okay, cool, sleepy time.
Yeah, totally. That's part of it too. But I remember the evening was always
made for Michelob.
It was no, that's the weekends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, evening I always thought sex was a little bit more. I don't know. desirable.
Does this break it down by sex, the survey?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I mean, I
Sexual
have,
act?
I just have a portion of the
Finger blasting?
No, it doesn't say
gender.
anything about that. I just have a portion of the story because it was from a larger article that I didn't feel like going through.
Yeah,
So,
it was getting too sexy.
yeah. All right, we'll go into something else here. Let's see. Although 71% of Americans think that it's rude to come to work sick, adults suffer symptoms for an average of 2 days before admitting that they're sick. And a poll of 2,000 U.S. adults found that about 1 in 4 believe that they can will their sickness away.
Yeah.
50. So essentially, they're saying it's rude to come to work sick. Yes.
I'll tell you this. So I haven't, knock on whatever approximates wood here. I haven't been sick in a while. The thing that if I'm going to miss a day, and which is incredibly rare, it'll be a stomach virus, something stomach virus related. That's what will get me. But I don't have to power through a cold. Kathy, you're always battling something.
Well, and here's the thing. That's where I stand. I do think it's rude when people come to work sick. You might feel like you're okay, but you're spreading germs all over the place, and someone like me is going to get it and is going to wipe me out for a week.
Yeah.
By the way, it says 59% of respondents have said that they have allergies when they were actually sick. So,
Well, and I think a lot of time people don't know the difference, and so the allergies is like a way to be like, don't worry, it's just allergies, you can't get it.
Or then the hypochondriacs of everything, whatever you have.
Whenever
they
somebody says
immediately
it's
have,
just allergies to me, I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Go take a COVID test.
which symptoms were finally the ones that convinced Americans to stay home, curl up in bed? Fever, number one.
I got a fever.
A fever will floor me.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. That is when it is the absolute worst for me. Yeah. I just,
When you, so what?
I get a little delirious.
Shiver?
Yes. And that's horrible.
You're hot-blooded. You got
gotta check and see.
Check and see.
Yeah.
I got bad news. You've got a fever of 103.
Usually the fever usually comes with body aches too.
Yeah.
And,
And you've got double vision.
and it's just horrible. In fact, I have the entire Foreigner library
That's crazy.
when I get sick. So just wanted you to know that.
Foreigner clinic.
Do you think that you have symptoms before the fever shows up? Because when I get the fever, no pun intended, that's when I know that I'm really sick. If I feel like I have a fever and I check my temperature or whatever, I'm like, all right, I actually am ill. But sometimes I'll have a cough a couple days beforehand or whatever. I'm like, no, maybe it is allergies. You know, maybe I can deny the fact that I'm actually ill. And then I'm like, oh, wait, crap.
Well,
I
you need
actually
a
have
jukebox hero.
Yeah, I can kind of. Or
I'm
you get
cold as
clammy.
ice.
Yeah,
Right,
you get clammy and yeah.
You're as cold as ice.
You're as cold as ice.
It's crazy, though, because when you do get that fever, you better get to the urgent care center, like ASAP.
I've got bad news for you. Your heart has turned to stone.
God, I haven't heard urgent in a long time.
Urgent.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Yes, I want to know what love is.
So fever, weakness, and stomach aches are the top 3 for people when they. What song is this?
Long way
home.
the
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we've gone through the Foreigner library.
Not yet. Not
Honestly,
yet.
well, okay, go ahead.
We still have.
What is this one? Hang on.
These guys just write all the songs in the waiting room of a doctor's office.
All right,
I've been waiting for a nurse like you.
we're turning that off now.
We are?
Yes, we are. We are.
Does that kill the YouTube stream when we do this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
probably.
does.
That's
Yeah.
a shame.
Because we're playing all this music that we are not allowed to.
Can you get away with a few seconds? Fair use?
I don't think so.
Fair dinkum?
All right, let's see. I'm going to do one more. By the way, Fox Good Day has been canceled.
What?
There's a connection issue, so I can stretch on a little bit more with the Just Saying Institute. But I wanted to throw this out there. A recent study surveying 1,800 American women found that 62% of participants reported being afraid of giving birth.
Okay. I am.
This fear is called tachophobia.
Okay.
which is spelled Tokophobia, not TACO. Maybe it's tocophobia. I don't know.
Tacos.
I'm surprised that there are this many people on this planet, considering how violent and painful childbirth is. Especially, well, I mean, listen, back in the day, they didn't really know how to
give birth.
No. There was no child. What's the word I'm looking for?
Birth control.
Birth control. Yeah.
Well, they did. They used stones.
Yeah.
No, there was no. It wasn't as effective as it is now.
A rocked-em.
So yes, the 62% are reported being afraid of giving birth. This fear, called tocophobia, can impact women who have never had a baby and women who had a traumatic experience around childbirth. Fears can stem from concerns about pain, doctors, and children in general. And Kathy, you pretty much had that, right?
I mean, there was the needle, the epidural. It was all of it.
But what about labor and all that? Did that freak you out too?
No, because I never experienced it. So like, I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know really what to expect. It was the thought of that needle, and then if not being able to do it, then I guess the pain with the labor. Like, to me, I would have wanted that.
Okay.
Or the thought of a dwarf punching its way out of your uterus.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. While most respondents were white women, black mothers were twice as likely to have a strong fear of childbirth. And this could be due to the fact that black mothers face 3 times the risk of dying from pregnancy complications. I was not aware of that.
That's scary, man.
Yeah. A fear of pregnancy can cause a woman to avoid sex or feel disconnected from their unborn child if they are pregnant. If they're afraid, if they're actively pregnant and afraid, that can cause an issue.
My mom revealed something to me recently. I'm 47. I'll be 48 this summer, and I have 2 younger brothers. And apparently, she had 3 C-sections. And by the third, there was so much scar tissue that had built up. It was very dangerous to have a third C-section, and that's why she got her tubes tied. And that, my youngest brother Josh was the last of the 3 of us. But she apparently. Do you guys remember Booth Maternity Ward? It was down. It might have been before you guys got here, Preston and Steve, but it was down the road on City Avenue. That's where my 2 younger brothers were born, and it was a hospital dedicated to women giving birth. That was it. It was there were no other. And I was wondering if any maternity wards like that exist anymore. Yeah, Booth Maternity Center.
Established in 1971.
We would take the train. My mom and I would, and we'd get off at the Overbrook station and walk over. And it was interesting to me that it was an entire hospital dedicated to that. And I don't know if those types of hospitals exist anymore.
Like a straight maternity hospital?
Yes, yeah. There were no other procedures being done there, Steve. It was just pregnant women.
I can't say that I've heard of that either.
Yeah, and it seemed to me
We'll
like...
check it and see.
It seemed like a pretty good idea to me, and I'm surprised that they don't exist anymore.
Oh, all right. Well, interesting. So just another bit of info to pass along from the Just Saying Institute. We're going to have to close up now and move along, friends.
Just saying.
We're going to step off of the campus of the JSI, the Just Saying Institute. But hopefully you learned something today as we talked about these things. We're going to take a break, come back in a second. Bizarre file stories on the way. And the first one I'll start with speaks to Nick. So we'll come back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Pounding the mustard seeds. Pounding them out. 1 mustard seed. 2 mustard seeds.
Slapping them down.
Slapping them down. Slap at the base.
Now we've gone to I Love You Man.
Yes.
Here we go. Wow, they eat plates and
I don't want it. I don't want to have
I will try it.
You don't want to,
I'm chewing tobacco, so, I'm just trying to be healthy, guys.
Thank you, Marissa. That's very
I want to sully the taste of the tobacco.
All right, so we each have a small piece of watermelon, and we have a little dollop of a mustard.
Do a dollop.
Is this regular yellow mustard, Marissa? All right,
Wait. Don't
What?
do it. No, I want to do a countdown. I want to get everybody ready.
Okay.
Oh, we're all going to do it at the same time?
Yeah,
Just like they do in a temple.
I'm going first. I'm sorry. You guys, hang on. That way I can talk while you guys are chewing.
All
All
right. And 3.
1, 2, 3.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, you're not a fan? All right.
That's horrible. There's nothing appealing about that at all. Not in the slightest.
Well, maybe it was the mustard. Get a different mustard.
No.
No?
No. It doesn't belong on watermelon. Kathy?
I do love mustard, though.
I don't mind
And
it.
I love watermelon.
I think it's 2 separate things that I like,
I
but
agree.
I don't have the reaction that you have that it was disgusting.
I think it has to be marketed as 2 great tastes that are horrible together.
There you go.
Wait, didn't your son make you like a peanut butter and tuna fish sandwich once because he knew that you liked both?
No, it was Gadzooks ice cream and shrimp. They were two of his favorite things, and he said they must taste great together. I let him learn that one on his own. Dogs can get sunburn.
Yep, like people, dogs exposed to too much sun can develop some skin cancers and things like that, and you'll see their skin will actually get a little bit pink or red.
Yeah, so Fozzie was looking all majestic and just laying in the driveway yesterday. I did not, Steve.
What'd you say?
You made love to him, did you?
He's big enough. You could.
No, that's Reggie.
Reggie's the larger one.
Fozzie, I would split in half.
Case and jeez.
Oh my God.
Oh, why did I say that?
I sent you down that path, didn't I? And now you're thinking about banging your dog.
Connor's face in the other room. He's like, oh my God. Wow.
Yikes.
Okay.
God damn, that dog's looking good.
Oh my God.
You know what? Okay, I'm going to bring this up because I don't know when I'll have another opportunity to do so. But Stevie sent me
Okay,
this.
fancy boy.
You sent me this article about the best brownies in Philly. And it's essentially just a list, and it's huge.
There's about 50 of them.
It's way too big to go through.
We are in the best of times when it comes to brownies in Philadelphia.
Yeah, what I didn't know was how many places are known for their brownies. And there's a lot of them. So there's Cake Life Bake Shop, Second Daughter Baking Company, Franklin Fountain, Dolce, Crust Vegan Bakery, the Frosted Fox Cake Shop. What's that, Kath? What do you love?
Franklin Fountain.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you're either A, ready to wait in line, or B, get there at a time where there's not a line, because it's really popular. It's fantastic. It's so good. You guys ever been? It's right on.
I have not, no.
It's on Market, and it's great. It's really
Is it a bakery?
It's like an ice cream shop, like an old-timey ice cream shop. Yeah, and so you go in and they have really good ice cream and really good dessert treats. So it's worth it. It's just not cheap, and you got to wait.
Nick, a friend of mine did her wedding pictures there.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's a cool spot.
All right. Cookie or brownie?
Cookie.
Oh.
Man.
I used to be brownie, but I feel like now I would do a cookie.
Okay.
I'd do a cookie.
If I saw them sitting out, I would go for a brownie anytime.
Yeah?
Really? Yeah.
I think I might go brownie.
Wow. Okay.
Because the chocolate chip cookie is my favorite. However, a well-made brownie. Also there's a company that actually, of the companies that do mail order brownies, Fairy Tale Brownies is a great company. If you've ever used them, they have their top level brownies. But yeah, that's neck and neck. Brownies are sensational.
Brownie or cupcake?
Brownie.
Yeah, I'd go with brownie. But you're a cupcake?
Cupcake.
Okay.
The thing with the brownies, though, I feel like, and I don't know if it's like as I age, my sense of taste gets even more sensitive. I don't know. But like, I feel like if it's not super well made, I can taste like the mix.
Really?
Instead of,
See, after you get a hysterectomy, that goes away.
Stop. I hate you.
I remember seeing the history of brownies and why they were created. And it was, I forgot the name of the place, but it was so that people could, I think, take them to the beach or something like that.
Seriously?
And so the brownie has a thicker consistency than a piece of cake. Like the cake would be too crumbly and fall apart.
It's more cohesive.
And yeah, so there's a little more goo to it. In case if you want to have some of that.
Goo.
It's I need that sound clip from Billy Madison. Yeah, when he notices a kid peed his pants.
The thing about a brownie for me is that the cookie is a little more pedestrian, right? Like a cookie is sort of an everyday dessert, whereas the brownie is...
All right, fancy boy.
Right? Yeah, I feel like a little bit of a fancy boy.
You're too good for
Like
Billy.
special?
A fancy Nancy, if you will. When a brownie shows up, I'm like, look at that little treat.
Look at Nick with his little waistcoat.
Thank you.
No, I understand that. I think though that they're easy to make. Brownies,
right?
Brownies are easy to make. Brownies are super easy to make. They're just as easy as cookies. I'm standing firm on this. Cookies are far superior than brownies. Far superior.
Oh,
and there's a reason why there's more of them, and it's more because they're better. They're just better. And it's not to say that brownies aren't good. They're good. They're just not as good as cookies.
I think they need more of them to make up for the fact that they're not as good as brownies. They say, hey, we have diluted the market with this product, and we're going to try to catch up to the brownie people.
I think the tough part about, and the reason there are more cookies is because, and if you're talking like when you go to the grocery store, cookies are more rigid. They're easier to package. You can put more of them together.
Yes.
Brownies can kind of... there's a shelf life on them. Some cookies can last for a while.
Brownies don't
Chips
have
Ahoy.
that luxury.
No.
And even if you do the brownie bites, which I think are sensational, brownie bites do have that preservative taste to them.
Let me ask you a question. Why do brownies have to be as thick as they are? You can kind of cut them in half first, right? Before you cut them into their little squares and stuff like that. You could essentially cut the tops and the bottoms
like a
off.
piece of brownie cake.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with your damn brownie.
Yeah. I don't know. Make thinner brownies.
Yeah.
At your home when you make them.
Yeah, our brownies are usually pretty thin anyway.
Yeah, okay. You okay? You all right?
I'm fine.
Everything good?
You guys, Steve.
What?
You cut me deep here, man.
How did I cut you deep?
Because you went with brownies over cookies, and I thought I knew
He
you.
feels betrayed.
I thought I knew.
I love chocolate chip cookies, but if I have if there is listen, they're right neck and neck, but I do love a damn good brownie. But chocolate chip, they're
It's like Godfather 1 or 2, Steve.
Yeah, it changes from time.
Goes from time to time.
Absolutely.
You lean one way or the other.
All right.
All right.
There it is.
Now he's got it.
I got it.
There's more goo in a brownie. All right. By the way, Steve, this list of brownie places, what's the
I was
source?
saying the Inquirer.
The Inquirer.
Yeah.
Okay. So
The
you can
Inky.
You can go on and find a list of great brownies, if you will, if you check the Inquirer's website. All right. What?
What?
Okay.
Oh,
let me go to Mario. I was going to wrap up there. Hey, Mario. Good morning.
Oh, he put on his glasses. He can't see without.
Exactly.
What's up, dude? Casey wanted me to talk to you.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Hey, cookies are way far superior than brownies. You can eat so many more of them. There's different kinds of textures. There's only so many things you can put in a brownie.
You don't need to. It's perfect.
I'll tell you what the deal is, Mario. It's when you see a plate of freshly made brownies and freshly made cookies, you know you're more likely to encounter freshly made chocolate chip cookies. At least I am. But a brownie is like, oh, we don't get brownies a lot. I'm going to go for that first.
Look what showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
I will
there we
agree
go.
with that. I will agree that it will be like a special little treat. But I will also say that if there's a freshly made plate of cookies or brownies in front of me, I'm going for them cookies first.
So I'm going for the brownies because I don't know when I'll get another shot at those brownies.
That's right.
That makes sense.
Carpe diem, man.
Carpe diem.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming to the phone call. I just want to say I'm a cookie lover.
All right, Mario.
I mean, you can enhance a
You're not
brownie
alone.
by putting a cookie in it. You can enhance a cookie by putting a brownie in it.
No, you absolutely can.
No,
I've had brownie cookies.
Yeah.
I don't even
no,
know
you've
what
had
that
cookie
means.
brownies.
Putting a brownie in a cookie?
Yeah, you don't do that.
But what? I've never heard of putting a cookie in a brownie.
You've never heard of a blondie, bro?
No. Well, you know what? I have heard of a blondie. I just didn't know what that was.
It's cookie brownie.
Okay. It's cookie brownie. All right, so some stories to run by. We'll start with Prince Harry. He has returned to the UK ahead of the unveiling of a statue in honor of his late mother, Princess Diana.
I'm back.
At Kensington Palace on July 1st is when that's coming up.
Is anyone home?
Would have been her 60th birthday. Meghan stayed in California with Archie and Lilibet. Rumors and speculation on the current status of Harry and the rest of the feuding royals accompanied the news. And of course, Diana would not have approved of the way Harry and Brother Prince are arguing. Many do speculate that.
It'd be terrible. And with that in mind, maybe they can patch things up.
Yeah, I would hope so. And with that, I saw a teaser story that I think William was kissing someone or something like that. Did you catch that story?
Who is he kissing?
Like an aide or something along those lines?
Yeah.
But I didn't really. I'm kind of bored
Kathy
with this
Bates.
crap. He was making out with Kathy Bates.
I'm a big fan of Misery. I've often fantasized.
And here's another bit of information. Prince Charles apparently will not strip Archie and Lilibet of their royal titles. Rumors assert, despite previous indications, that he would consider it.
I tend to think we get a lot of misinformation. Yeah.
And according to an insider, they said, I don't think he will make the unpopular, hostile move of removing the royal status of his grandchildren. And then you have basically people just comment on this stuff.
Absolutely extract from the royal titles because of this point in time.
Agreed, sir.
Exactly.
So,
why would you do that anyway?
Hang on a second. What does it say? Oh, Prince William promised to give a 96-year-old woman a kiss once. The rules relaxed more during his mini tour of
There you
Scotland.
go.
So that was
I
it.
would like a lot of tongue, please. You misunderstood. You were thinking of a more provincial kiss when I was looking for something more sexual.
Hey, she's 96, man.
Oh, I guess so.
She can ask for whatever she wants.
All right.
Open.
Give me more. Give me your tongue.
Gross.
Dear God, woman, I can taste your pancreas.
That's how deep he went, or there was bile coming up.
Bile. You know what? You don't know what's bubbling in that old fuselage. What's your favorite cheese?
Of all time?
Is that even possible to say?
America, Jack!
No, one of the greatest cheeses I ever had was called a Shropshire Blue. I was given it as a gift from some friends who knew that I love cheese, and it is actually an orange blue cheese. It's really good. Orange with blue veins, you know, like a big penis.
Really? Wow, yeah. Like a big,
veiny,
older man's penis.
Yeah, it's purple.
Wow.
Yes.
It's an orangish yellow cheese.
Like a senior citizen's penis.
With blue veins in it. And it's,
yes, do you have any cheese that would resemble a senior citizen's penis? I've got just the thing.
And I absolutely loved it. It's from Shropshire, England.
Now, something that would resemble an older woman's dried out vagina.
Oh my God.
Dear Lord.
We don't have cheese like that, but we have plenty of meat like that.
You know, sir, perhaps you're not interested in cheese.
Yeah.
My little cheese place in Chestnut Hill closed down.
It did.
I was devastated.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, anyhow, so if you want to, you can use your Ritz cracker and try to cut your cheese with it. Remember when cut the cheese used to be a euphemism for farting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just fart when I said that?
I thought you were summoning me.
He just... Kathy, did you see that?
No.
He's standing up. He squatted down a little bit right when we said that was the
I
word
thought
for
you were
farting.
telling me to do that.
Can you, if I ask you right
Fart
now?
on command? Absolutely. No, I wish I
Do
could.
it right
No,
now.
I
Go
can't.
for it.
I can't.
Drop a deuce.
Could you take a jump right here?
Yeah. All right, so did you really?
Yes.
Drop the deuce?
No, he farted. Oh my God.
Wow.
Please tell me that the microphones picked that up. Could you hear that, Bruce?
I could hear it in my headphones.
I'm telling you.
It is
This is the person we work with.
unbelievable.
Isolate it.
This is the person we work with.
I mean, we are adults at work. At work. This is our job.
We're making money.
We're
Yeah.
at
making
work.
good
I
money.
think I just bonused with that one.
I wish you would get fired.
Is that what you want? You want my family destitute, Kathy?
No,
You want my family on the
honestly,
streets?
She says just you.
I'll just take care of your kids. Like,
What about my wife? What about my wife?
well, her too.
When she comes looking for good loving.
Don't worry, I'll take care of her.
Let's see if we can isolate that moment.
Kathy's got that covered too.
And relive it. Marissa just held up 3 fingers. I don't know what that means.
One in the pink, 2 in the stink.
It wasn't that 3. What?
3 minutes, I can get it.
Okay, thank you, Marissa.
So doing this thing.
So maybe we'll kind of reinvigorate this thing. But we have decided to return with Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts this morning.
Yes.
And when I tell you that the passion was high for people to that have sent in requests to be a part of this, it's an understatement. It was just fanatical.
It is a global phenomenon.
Yes.
Has been for a long time. People have been raised in this Harry Potter realm, and so we knew we were going to get some staunch competitors.
I read a lot of the submissions that were sent in. I read all the submissions that were sent in, and I read several of them. I was on the plane the other day flying out west, and I was brought to tears by some of these submissions because this world means so much to so many people, and the way that they articulated it was really moving to me, and I'm just impressed. It was so difficult to narrow it down to 2 final contestants.
I mean, put it in perspective. A tick came into the studio to watch.
That's right. That's how popular
That's how
this is.
popular.
I am currently reading the Harry Potter books.
Are you?
I'm on the Sorcerer's, or no, I'm sorry, I'm on the Chamber of Secrets right now, so I've just gotten started.
Reading or Audible?
Audible.
And who's doing it? Who's doing the
I've forgotten the actor's name.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Red Robin. Moms, dads, and grads give the gift of yum by buying a $25 Red Robin gift card now through June 18th and get a $5 bonus buck reward for you. Redeemable June 19th through August 13th. So here we go. Nick, this is for you.
All right.
In Kentucky, a man was shot over the weekend in Louisville, and police say it was over a Hot Pocket.
Hot Pocket!
Yes.
Well,
I think when the man shot, he screamed, "Oh no." The police arrested 64-year-old Clifton Williams on Sunday after they said he shot his roommate following an argument. Police said the Williams roommate said that Williams's roommate had eaten the last Hot Pocket. So he started throwing tiles at him. I don't know why tiles happen to be handy at the moment, but he started throwing them. Oh no! Arrest slips say that the roommate tried to leave, but Williams went inside and got a gun. The man was then shot in the buttocks as he was trying to leave. Oh no! The victim traveled a few blocks to get help, was taken to the hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
That's a damn good commercial for Hot Pockets.
Williams is being charged with assault and has been ordered not to have contact with the victim.
I can see his point.
Where's my damn Hot Pocket?
Oh, no! 37-year-old man. Actually, I'm going to say that.
Save it.
A 37-year-old man claiming to be a time traveler was arrested after allegedly hurling a brick through a family's window.
We come from the future. We use bricks a lot.
On Saturday, Ocala police responded to a possible burglary. The victims claimed that they heard a loud crash, and when they checked on their baby, they found a smashed window and a brick on the floor. The residents also...
In my time, this is how we say hello.
They also said they found a book outside that did not belong to them. And when officers found suspect Daniel Robert Dinkins, he admitted that he threw the brick through the window because he was a time traveler and needed to save the baby from something way in the future when the child is much older.
He's like Cable.
Yeah, or it's like everything, everywhere, all at once. If you do this one thing, it will alter what happens in another reality.
He also had a book of sports stats, Preston.
Oh, Gray's Sports Almanac.
You can't do that.
He was arrested and now faces a felony charge, by the way.
I mean, if you think about it, we're all time traveling.
We are, man. Word.
A woman was caught on security cameras repeatedly keying cars at a dealership in Canada, hitting an estimated 400 vehicles one by one over the span of 4 months.
Did you see the footage of this?
No.
Just walking down the line of cars, keying them.
Wow. According to the Daily Mail, the video shows a woman covered head to toe in warm clothing and wearing a mask.
Kick the crap out of that bitch.
Slowly moving from car to car and making small scratches on each vehicle. The exact amount of damage done is unknown at this time, but police say that it could be in the range of $500,000.
For no reason, or did she happen to work at a detailer that fixes scratches?
Yeah, they didn't say. The woman is described
Maybe she
as
has a key shop.
Roughly 40 to 50 years old and a heavy build, and is believed to drive a 2008-2013 Ford Escape. Police
curb stomp that whore.
Believe that she is acting alone, and her motive in this matter is unclear.
Complete lunacy, but she's doing it very nonchalantly in the video.
Here's a story out of the Netherlands. The Utrechtse Student Corps, or the USC, is under fire for a photo circulating on social media showing members playing ring toss with the goal of getting a ring over a bottle held in a stripper's anus.
Okay.
Wait, what?
And then listen, that's hard if you've ever tried to do it.
Students confirmed the authenticity of the photo. Rector Hito Lane of the...
bottle is in the anus. Our first contestant steps up.
And
it's good.
Of the USC said that he strongly disapproves of the behavior and has reported the incident to the relevant authorities. The person responsible has received an appropriate sanction. The Student Association, this is the Masters music. The Student Association informed the university about the incident last week. Spokesperson Annelies Waterland told the newspaper, "We realize that management cannot always prevent transgressive incidents from taking place. However,
Just want to thank my parents for the years they drove me to anus toss competitions.
We think it is essential the Students Association, based on health association culture, do everything they can to prevent
And I want to thank the stripper.
excessive and excesses and act effectively if they do occur." So they weren't happy with
What
that.
kind of jacket do you put on when you win that?
That's a brown jacket. Yeah.
Should we try that at Keenan's this week?
I was thinking, actually, yeah. All right, this is terrible. Listen to this story, man. An Illinois man who had been walking on tidal mud flats in an Alaska estuary reportedly drowned over the weekend after becoming stuck as the tide came in.
So years ago, Preston, when we took our Alaskan cruise, it was our honeymoon, we drove past an area coming down from Anchorage towards Seward, and there is an area that the bus driver is telling us Very tempting for a lot of people to get off and just kind of walk into the tide goes out, and they say people get trapped in this mud all the time. They step out into it and don't realize, and with every attempt to pull their leg out, it sucks them down further into the mud.
I wonder if this is where this happened.
I would bet it is.
Like how terrifying as the tide slowly comes in. You're like, oh, I'm
yeah.
done.
This is it's got to be a horrible, horrible, horrible death. Slowly, as you realize you're not going to make it. So the man was there with his friends on Sunday night when he was submerged up to his waist in the quicksand-like silt. The body of Zachary Porter was recovered Monday morning. A member of his group had called 911 when they couldn't get him out, but it was too late. One man who tried to save him was flown to Anchorage with hypothermia. Christy Pearson, the administrator and lead EMT for the fire department, said, "It's big, it's amazing, it's beautiful, and it's overwhelming. But you have to remember that it's Mother Nature.
This is it.
And she has no mercy for humanity."
Yeah, this is exactly what I remember seeing when we were on the, and the thing is that it's kind of like the thing where, let's pull over and check it out. No.
And I imagine, Steve, like, there's no way to get to anybody out there either because you can't run across it.
Nope.
You can't take a vehicle
Yeah.
across it. You know, you're just stuck.
She responded to the call and spoke with others in Porter's party, but did not speak to him directly. Peterson explained that they got the rescue call after Porter was in serious trouble, urging people to call 911 as soon as possible. Another department, which is located around an hour's drive away, also responded to the incident. And at low tide, Peterson said that Turn Again Arm is known for its mud flats that can suck you down. It looks like it's solid, but it's not, she said. When the tide comes in, the silt gets wet, loosens up, and creates a vacuum should a person walk on it. There are signs posted warning people of dangerous waters and mud flats. At least 3 others have gotten stuck or drowned there over the years, and many more people have been rescued. Earlier this month, a fisherman was rescued after his leg became stuck, and he sank up to his waist. So,
scary crap.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, it's gorgeous, but it's just terrifying.
Yeah. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, as we take a break, a reminder that Villa Maria Academy in Malvern, you guys are voting for the coolest teacher. So make sure you do that now. Text word teacher to 39333. We'll send you the voting link. Also, don't forget a secret text word today. We got tickets to see Andrew Schultz, who's playing at the Ocean Casino Resort in AC on July 29th. Text the word secret to 39333. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Recorded way through the second book.
Awesome.
So I'm underway. I'm starting to learn. I've seen all the movies and I found them entertaining, but I wanted to know, because there's so many people that you talk to about this story. There's so much more underneath when you dive into the canon of it all. When you get into the all the details about it, and I want to know that. I mean, I want to know. I think it's a kind of a club that you're in.
So all of my nieces and nephews, like I remember when the movie started coming out, and I was like, "Oh, that's friggin' awesome! I loved it."
Yeah.
They were like, "But they left out. But they left out." And there's so much stuff that so they were able to enjoy them, but they were a little deflated because the books, they devoured. They were ravenous for them. So I think you're entering a cool realm here, Preston.
By the way, Nick McElwain wearing his Gryffindor attire this morning.
Yes, sir.
He has pajamas.
Yes.
That look like a robe.
It's the closest thing I have to a robe, but they are officially licensed Harry Potter pajamas, and so I am a Gryffindor, and that's why I'm
Mr. Potter, what happened to your head?
You have taken the online quiz to find out which house you belong in?
Yes. I'm a Gryffindor.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah.
Pottermore was a great website. I don't think it actually exists anymore, which is too bad. But I mean, I've been in the Harry Potter universe for a really long time. I think I got into it maybe when the third book came out. And Steve, I love the movies as well, but the books really do add layers and levels and these just the intricacies to this universe, and it's why people keep coming back to it, because there's so much to read, there's so much to rediscover, and maybe you didn't even notice it the first time around.
And not only has Nick worn his pajamas, but he brought in his wand, and so did Steve.
Yes, I did.
And you guys both got those at Universal Studios?
This was a gift for me from Universal Studios, yeah. So my friend that went and knew how much I loved Harry Potter and brought it back for me.
And you haven't been there?
I have not yet, no.
Oh, my God!
I know.
You've got to go. It's incredible.
I did a couple of the tours in London, which were amazing. But yes, I absolutely have to get to Universal.
That's the only thing I know about Harry Potter is that the rides were fun at Universal.
Right.
Literally.
Kathy, it is a whole world. I went to Ollivanders. You did as well, Preston. On your recommendation.
My daughter got a wand fitting getting there.
And yes, and when you go around the town, the wand activates certain things in
that's
town,
cool,
which
yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
I've been to both. I've been in the one in California and in Orlando, and they are outstanding.
I gotta go.
You won't, if you're a fan.
It's real.
You're going to cry.
That
It's
world
real.
is real.
All right.
Some of the people that sent in submissions said that when they got there, then they saw the Hogwarts castle, it brought them to tears.
I believe
that's how moving it is. Yeah.
All right. And by the way, Harry Potter fans are adorable. Look at these guys here this morning. We're going to meet our contestants.
Preston and Steve present Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts.
As Nick had said, we had loads and loads and loads of entries, but going through, we've got to narrow it down to 2. And I'm sure that there are people that are incredibly well-versed, but we only have room for 2 people in our studio. And so that's how we're doing it, to have these 2 competitors battle it out. Mano a mano. All right, so let's meet our contestants, and we'll read the emails that we got from them. We're going to start with this one. It says, dude, I grew up with HP and obsessed. I was born in 89, so I was right out of the same age as Harry, right around the same age as Harry and his compadres, or his comrades, it says, as the books were released and they made their way through Hogwarts, ultimately not returning for education in year 7 as the Dark Lord has by that point been hit full strength, obviously. I have lightly reread parts of the books since childhood, but made it my goal to reread all 7 books once I finished grad school, Master of Public Administration at Penn State, woot woot. My husband bought me a Gryffindor blanket, a book of spells as a grad gift as well, and I graduated in December 2020 and finished the books last month. Literally, the best books I've ever read, and I have no idea how to move on from them. It's really just a story about friendship and the power of love.
True.
I was brought to tears in books 5, 6, 7, and would say that my favorite books are 3 and 6. 7 is also just absolutely epic. My next goal is to rewatch the full versions of the movies. I went to Universal Studios California back in 2017 and wore a Harry Potter costume to Hogwarts. For the above reasons, I would say I am the Harry Potter expert. It's about both knowledge and sheer passion for the story, the most epic tale ever told. Please welcome Steph Rosenbluth to the show. Hi, Steph. How you doing? Oh, wait. Your microphone is not working. Let me try that again. Go ahead.
I am so happy to be here.
Yay. Steph, where are you from?
I'm from central New Jersey, Hopewell Township, right across the river from Bucks County.
It does exist.
Okay, so is that north-south Jersey or south-north Jersey?
Right in the armpit of the Delaware River.
There you go.
All right, I want to ask you, Steph, because Steph is wearing a shirt that's got all 4 houses on it, but it says Hogwarts on it. She's also wearing a robe. She brought her owl. Is that Hedwig?
It's Hedwig.
Nice. And tell me about your glasses.
They are round glasses.
Are they prescription?
They are not prescription.
Okay.
They are just merely for this competition. Yes.
They look great.
And social events.
Nice. So you recently reread all the books.
I did, yes. It was my goal, and I still don't know how to move on. Interestingly, while rereading the books, I was also rewatching Lord of the Rings extended version. So I was in quite the wizarding world.
Well, there's the amount of minutia, the amount of stuff to keep track of. But I mean, that's the books, the extended movie versions of the original Harry Potter, of the movies, and a lot of times they're tacking on an additional half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Which character do you identify with the best?
Wow,
Or
which
most?
character? Probably Luna Lovegood.
Okay.
She says whatever's on her mind. People kind of think she's weird, but once they get to know her, they realize she has a heart of gold, and she's actually very important to the story and to Harry's success in defeating Voldemort.
I love that. Great answer. All right, that's Steph. Our next contestant writes, I was hooked on the series the first time I read Sorcerer's Stone and bawled my eyes out the day after my 11th birthday when I didn't get my invitation to attend Hogwarts for the upcoming school year. I read the series countless times as a child and still reread my favorites every year. I read the series countless times. Nope, I read that part already. Let me go back to this. And I reread the story every year, every Christmas, to get in the holiday spirit. Growing up, my family and I went to the premiere screening of the latest movie, and what started as my obsession turned into full-out family affair as I got the rest of my family hooked on the magic of the Harry Potter universe. We traveled to Universal Studios' Wizarding World of Harry Potter when I was 19, and I remember seeing the top of the Hogwarts castle and instantly burst into tears. I can definitely recite every movie from start to finish, and I'm always the go-to person when someone has a question about their Harry Potter timeline or whether or not Snape really was a good guy. For years, my friends and I would watch the full 8 movies in a marathon event. We would bake snitch cake pops, craft sorting hat cupcakes, and brew our very own butterbeer, all while playing Harry Potter trivia and discussing our favorite moments from the series. There really is something special about the magic that J.K. created, and I would love to put my knowledge to the test. Gang, welcome Lauren DiStefano.
Love it.
Hi, Lauren. How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
From Downingtown, Pennsylvania. What do you do?
I work at a law office now.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Okay, nice.
You can employ spells in changing a witness's testimony. You bring up something that I thought was really cool, and I think of it this the same way. For some reason, I perceive Harry Potter, the movies, as Christmas time fare.
Every single movie has a Christmas scene.
Right. And so it's always applicable. Yeah, no.
And so, Lauren, how long have you been listening to the Preston and Steve show?
Probably my whole life. My parents are Y100 listeners, and we had
nice.
like the CDs, and I was like, oh, that's the only station is Preston and Steve. So I just didn't know.
We were our own station, the Preston and Steve station.
So you're wearing a Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry shirt this morning, and you're wearing some funky-looking glasses. What are those?
Luna Lovegood's glasses.
Those are Luna Lovegood's glasses.
Oh, wow.
So she can see everything.
Okay, that's beautiful. And would, I'd asked Steph who she identified with, and she said Lovegood. What about you?
I think, my favorite character is Sirius. I love him so much. I love his arc of being the villain to the good guy, but never getting the redemption of it. But everyone who loves and knows him knows he was the good guy.
You mean Severus?
No, Sirius.
Oh, Sirius.
Black.
Oh, Sirius Black. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
out
right.
of prison, and everybody's like, and then he finally, at the very end, they're like, oh, yeah, he was a good guy all along.
Okay.
Wow.
I just loved him.
Oh, you guys are the real deal.
Well, we're going to put you to the test, guys. All right. Are you ready to get this underway?
Ready.
All right.
Ready.
Let's test your. Now we have. You guys are going to be buzzing, and I'm going to explain the rules. But let's just test your bells and see how it sounds. Steph. That's Steph's bell, and this is Lauren's bell. So a little bit of a different tone to each, so we can tell the difference, and we should be able to hear that. Okay. All right. Let's get this underway and tell you guys how we're going to be rolling this out for Battle of the So-Called Experts. There are 3 rounds, and they increase in difficulty. We will begin with the easiest questions, and they will be worth 1 point each. There are 4 questions per round.
Okay.
Second round, the questions are worth 2 points, and the third round, the questions are worth 5 points. So even if you're behind going into the third round, it can really change, and you can end up winning because of the difficulty level. Now, I will ask you a question. You have to buzz in to answer. If you get that question correct, you get points. Now, here's what I want you to keep in mind. If you buzz in while I'm asking the question, and I haven't finished the question yet, I will stop, and you will have to answer based only on what I've said so far. If you're incorrect, your opponent will get to hear the rest of the clue and also answer that question, and they get a benefit because they'll hear your incorrect answer. They'll hear the rest of the clue and might have a better shot at getting that. So keep that in mind as I ask the questions, whether or not you're ready to buzz in. And by the way, we will have a tiebreaker if necessary. If we have a tie at the end of the game, we'll have a tiebreaker question that is ready to go. And the winner gets our porcelain Tri-Wizards Cup here this morning. Gorgeous. It's actually a bi-Wizards Cup because we only have 2 Wizards in the studio this morning. But that is from our friend Eva, who created this. She is the ceramic studio manager at the Wayne Art Center.
She's so talented. She's so incredible. She recently had an art opening out in Westchester at Westchester University. Eva's a great artist and a really cool person. She actually submitted to be in this contest because she loves Harry Potter so much. But when she wasn't selected, she made this trophy for us instead.
That was very cool. And you can check out our Instagram account. We'll make sure we post that. It's at arts.by.eva. If you want to take a look. So thank you, Eva Hozinez. Is that how you say her last name? Hozinez.
Yeah,
All
she's
right,
awesome.
So thank you, Eva. All right, we are ready to get the battle underway.
Oh, boy.
Let's begin. All right. Let's get Steph and Lauren in place. Hands by your buzzers, by your bells, I should say.
Are we doing Practice questions first, or are we just getting right to it?
You know what? All right, I'll do a practice question just so you know what it's like to buzz in. And by the way, the questions are difficult. I'm currently reading, and I've seen all the movies. I didn't get any one of these correct. All right, but that's hey, I'm a neophyte compared to you guys. So let's try a very, very simple question, and buzz in if you know the answer. What street do the Dursleys live on? Okay, so then we would go to Lauren for that answer.
Privet Drive.
That is absolutely correct. So that's just a test. And that is how it's going to work. So we can clearly hear the bells.
Yes.
We know who's in.
All right.
And we can decide who gets to answer the question. All right, here we go.
Did you say where their hands need to go?
They can hover.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hands can hover.
We covered that off air. So, all right, first question, stand by. Here we go. And these are the easy questions for 1 point. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Snape commands his students to turn to... All right.
394.
That is correct, Lauren. Which page 394. 1 point for Lauren.
I'm keeping score, right?
That was excellent. Yes. All right. Next question. After Dumbledore's passing, he gives Harry the very first snitch that he ever caught. All right, we're going to go to Steph for that answer.
I open at the close.
She is correct. The rest of the question was, what was the sentence that appeared on the golden sphere?
Wow.
I open at the close.
These guys are good.
1 point each. Next question. What?
93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. So a guy shot another guy because the other guy took the last Hot Pocket.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
This happened in Kentucky. We were just talking about this. And there are times where food can get you very riled up.
Well, so many of your bizarre file stories involve whether, the last chicken wing, the last, whatever you have, piece of pizza. And there's something I think we tend to get our anticipation built up, and it freaks people the hell. I mean, people have been more than just shot, flat out murdered for stuff like this. But it makes you think, what food would make you go the furthest because you found it was someone else had taken it? Or I know, Casey, you talk about stuff disappearing from your fridge that you've set aside and that your mouth is watering for. You've built your whole day around getting home to have it, and then it's gone.
Well, and Press, I think because you have a house full of people as well, and I just, I come to this realization that nobody has any respect for anybody else's belongings or food in my household, and I'm probably no exception to the rule. And mine might be more out of spite than anything else.
Well, I think it's hardwired into us. And by the way, we would love to hear, short of murdering someone.
Or if there's a good case.
The most intense altercation you've gotten in over food. And I have a couple of them personally, which I'll share in a moment. But I've just finished this book. It's the second time I've read it. It's called Project Hail Mary. It's coming out as a movie in a couple of years. And in the book, they make the illustration because it has to do with meeting alien life and so on. Anyway, they're talking about the history of we as a civilization that up until like 300 years ago, the primary issue of everyone that lived is food.
That's it.
That's all there is to it. Everything.
You have to live.
Societies were created around it. The most important thing in the world to anyone was being able to get sustenance to live. We live in a world now where that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have anything, you can find a way to eat, and groups like Phil Abundance and so on are there for you, but there didn't used to be.
No, you had hunters and gatherers.
I think it's hardwired into us that at some point you can seriously cross the line when it comes to food.
Seriously, War Child.
Seriously. All right. You better back off, War Child. Back off from that pizza, War Child.
Back off, War Child. Seriously.
That's my Hot Pocket, War Child.
So I think it's us as human beings. It's ingrained in it. I've gotten in two. One really massive physical altercation with my sister one time over food.
And the other one was with the band.
It was with the band, yeah.
That's my favorite.
I'll recount that one too. And no, I had apparently I ate a frozen pizza. Okay, so and apparently my sister had her sights set on that pizza. And as was at the time, I was probably about 15 or something like that. I ate the entire pizza.
Yeah.
I made the pizza. I ate the entire
You're a
pizza.
walking blast furnace.
No big deal, right? So I eat that. My sister comes home, realizes that I ate the pizza. Now, I don't remember the details. I don't know if she had said it was she was going to eat it or whatever. But anyway, I made the pizza. I ate it. She wigged the F out, okay?
What was
So
it,
she's
an immediate explosion?
Screaming at me.
Yeah.
Screaming at me.
Wow.
And then I try to leave, and something pegs me in the back of the head hard. And I'm like, what the hell? She had picked up, like, you ever seen those really big navel oranges?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
big one. She had hurled one. It was like the size of a grapefruit.
Oh my God.
Hurled it at me. So here, now we're in a food fight.
Yeah.
Both figuratively and literally. Hits me in the head. So I went and grabbed a hockey stick.
Okay,
and
yeah,
then,
of course, yeah.
And then I
well,
went.
you don't want to waste food.
Right, exactly. So I went after her with a
you
hockey
were full
stick.
at that point.
And and so I'm swinging it around the kitchen, knocking stuff off. And she had a friend there, a guy who managed to
get the hockey stick away from you.
Yeah, he had detained me.
Yeah, yeah.
and it stopped there, but it was close to me killing my sister over a pizza.
Do you think would you have connected? With the hockey stick?
I don't know.
In that moment
man.
of see, the thing is, you were already full.
I was
you
already
had
full, but I'd been assaulted.
Yes,
so
by an orange.
By an orange. So I was out for blood at that point.
I mean, knowing your relationship with your sister, I think you would hit her.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think it's safe for me to say I've never been in an argument about food.
Really?
Never.
About someone
You've
eating.
never been massively
No, I mean,
disappointed because
totally. I've been disappointed, gone in for leftovers and they're gone, but not so much that I got into an argument about it. Like even in college when food was like, it was hard to come by.
Right.
I remember people eating each other's food and you would be annoyed at them, but I don't
You
think
never wanted to kill anyone?
No, I never got into like a physical or a verbal argument over it.
You never shot someone in the ass over a hot pocket?
No.
And then the other one was, yes, I was, our band was playing a gig and earlier in the day and then we had, zero money. So we would go and buy lunch meat and have it ready. And then after the gig, we'd have some food to eat. And
lunch meat.
I had never in my time had a product called pickle loaf before. It looked appetizing to me because I like, things like olives and pickles. And it was, hey, it's already right there in the ham.
In a loaf form.
Yeah, in a loaf form, in bologna or whatever that stuff is made out of. And we played the gig all night long. I was looking forward to having my pickle loaf sandwich.
I'm rocking now, but I'm thinking about that pickle loaf.
And
everybody's working for the
pickle loaf.
And of course, this was the same night we decided to do shots of Everclear.
Oh.
And so I go to get my pickle loaf, and Greg, my keyboard player, is standing there with like a 3/4 eaten pickle loaf sandwich in his hand.
Oh no!
And I go, where is it? Where's my pickle loaf? And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. And he holds the sandwich out to me.
Like to take a bite?
Yeah, here you go, man. And I just grabbed it and balled it up in my hand and threw it across the room.
Yeah.
And I didn't get in a fist fight per se, but I kind of went at him and somebody held me back. And
So it was a tirade. I mean, you were freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was livid.
Yeah.
And I didn't let it go either. It was horrible. So much so that the band bought me a shirt that said, keep your hands off my goddamn pickle.
Oh, don't you wish you still had that
I
shirt?
do wish I still had
Oh, my
that.
God. So in high school, my sophomore year, it was like a sophomore assembly, and I was eating my lunch. I had sat down. I had my cheesesteak sitting in front of me, and this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but like, it was such a dick move. He just picked up my cheesesteak. It was a bully move, if anything, and he took the biggest bite out of it, and I was like, and I was a little guy. There was nothing I could do about it.
You don't do that.
No, but I wanted to fight him. But I was like, well, I can either A, have my sandwich eaten in front of me and have my ass kicked, or just have my sandwich eaten in front of me. So I just
Was that a
went for the
bologna
latter.
sandwich?
He doesn't stand for bologna.
See, that's it. It puts you over the top. I had an incident. I used to love the chunky candy, the chunky bar.
Chunky bar,
Yeah. It's got raisins in it.
It's got raisins in it, and I like raisins.
I didn't know you liked those.
Yeah, I did. As a kid, I loved them.
Oh, I still
So
love them.
my younger brother, there was now I was actually the perpetrator. I didn't realize he had eyed one of the chunkies. There was two left, and I had mine. What I guess was I didn't know the order. I had mine, and then I had his, and so. But we got into a screaming match and almost got physical. But then he pulled a move. This is my younger brother, Tom. He went and tore my Wolfman mask.
Oh.
And I'm like, what level of hell did you crawl out of me? But I mean, now, that it's actually worse when you're on, I think, like the guy who ate your loaf there, Preston. And you do feel bad, or you should feel bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't his.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you.
was not his. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I just want to know, like, did he get back to the room before you? Like, how was he able to get there, make a sandwich, and eat it?
What kind of devil is he? What kind of magician?
We're getting some good texts, by the way, and phone calls, which I'm going to go to in a second here. This one says, when I was 10 years old, I ate my brother's last 5 pink Starburst.
Oh, no.
So he duct taped me to the front tree for 4 hours until my mom got home.
What? That is terrific punishment.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good one.
We did that to one of our interns.
Pancake. The picture is on the on our website right now.
On the Preston and Steve 25 years anniversary. I love it. I'm going to go to James. Hi, James. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to bother you at work.
Nah, we want to hear it. What's up, bud?
Well, I was with me and my brother about 12 years old. My sister's like 3 years old. She's probably 15 at the time. She had like a, like Edamund's like cheese Danish thing.
Yeah, damn good.
There's a little bit left, so my buddy ate it, and we wind up going outside and we're shooting the basketball around, and my sister comes out of the house with a kitchen knife and wings it at him and sticks him and stays right in his arm.
What? She threw a knife at him and it stuck in his arm?
Yeah, for a cheese Danish, he had to get like 4 stitches.
Oh my God! Did she say any immortal words at that time?
She said, "Don't you ever touch my food again." I mean, they're fine now, but at the time, I was like, we didn't know what to do. We just stood there, and he's sitting there with his arm, with a knife dangling. The knife
sticking out of his arm.
I mean, if it was her intent to actually do that, I mean, my guess is it was a lucky or unlucky shot, depending on your take. But still, man, to hurl a knife and have it go into the arm.
Entenmann's cheese Danish.
I hear you, man. I would have finished him off.
Oh my God, James! Did your sister have any brushes with the law in her life after that?
No, not at all, no.
She works for Entenmann's.
I bring it up all the time.
And so you should.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, James. Yeah, she's the CEO of Entenmann's.
If you don't want, if you want to deny the fact that we are just indeed animals,
we can revert to our animalistic instincts in a flash.
And anytime, my dog has a rawhide in its mouth, and you walk up, even just to pet him, he's like, he's like, I know I love you, but
don't touch my food. I will go to Mike next. Mike, good morning.
You guys rock.
Hi, Mike. Thank you, Mike. What's up, bud?
All right. So at the time, I'm 22. My stepbrother's in his 40s, and after a night of partying, we're sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden we get hungry, and he decides to pull a Bill Cosby in the middle of winter and decide to go out and grill 2 huge T-bone steaks. And we had, it was like you might as well have had his mother make it for us. It was mashed potato. Everything. It was the works. So we're sitting there on the floor. We're eating this food, and we're actually watching open eye surgery on television.
What?
His mother comes down the steps and sees us sitting there with these plates and what we're doing, and she wigs out. She's like, "I can't believe you guys are eating my GD steak. They were for dinner in a couple nights." We didn't stop hearing about this for almost a week. I'm not even.
Did she start? Did she take a swing at you, or was she just going completely off the deep end?
I think she was so stunned at what she saw, because she never left the steps. Because it was a rancher, but it had 3 little up steps to go into the hallway to the bedrooms. So I'm sitting on the floor closest to the steps. My stepbrother's sitting about 3 feet away, and she's at the top of the steps, towering over us, screaming at us, and I'm like, what the hell? There was only 2 of them.
I could see.
Right?
Had she at all made it clear that was for the intent, or?
Well, no, we didn't know. We were just 2 idiots wrecked out of our minds, and we were hungry, and he gets the brilliant idea. He would do stuff like this all the time. We would go to Pathmark at 3 o'clock in the morning and buy mussels and make 3 pounds of mussels at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's ridiculous the way we used to eat, but so we were just doing our normal party, and we're hungry. We don't want to order out. We can't order out. Let's see what's in the fridge and the freezer.
Oh, man.
2 huge T-bone steaks. We had a full steak dinner, man. It was awesome.
And that's what you can't do. You can't look in the fridge and just see this and go, that looks good. I'll make that.
That's good, yeah.
Somebody else bought that. you know.
For anybody out there that parties that hard, no. Worst idea, two worst ideas in the world.
All
Never
right.
go grocery shopping and never look in your fridge.
All right, thanks, Mike. Appreciate the call, man. We'll see you later. I'll go. Hey, Sammy Viles on the line.
Hey,
Sammy. Yo, bud, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys?
Yo, just want to hear. Now, obviously, how many people are in your family? You got like 9 brothers or something?
Yeah, 9 brothers.
9 brothers.
No. Sorry, 9 siblings, 5 brothers, 5
3 sisters,
4 brothers.
All right.
Yeah.
So in that time, there's had to have been food fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Do tell.
Yeah. So when I was like 10, I ordered buffalo wings from Paul Revere Pizza in Lansdowne. And I'm sitting there ready to eat them, and my brother Paul comes in and goes, "Yo, let me get one." I'm like, "Nah, dude, there's only 10." He says, "Give me one." I'm like, "No." So he takes his finger, sticks it through the styrofoam container, scoops up some of the buffalo sauce, and starts rubbing it in my eyes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, dude, Jello Man is not the saint you all think he is.
Oh, wow. All right. So our Jello shot guys who he's referring to. Oh, my God. How old were you at this time?
I was like 10. We were little.
It's brutal.
S-words back then.
Yeah. And so what happened? Did you just run immediately and try to wash it out?
Oh yeah, dude. I got there just in time for it not to get sink into my eyes, but like it freaked me the F out.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That would be very torturous to have that crap rubbed in your eyes.
And that was a dick move on his part. Man.
It's a complete dick move.
yeah.
Do you? Let me ask you guys. So like, and I do this, and maybe it's something that you do, Sammy, as well. When I go to a restaurant and somebody says, "I'll just have some of yours," or I'll order you a complete.
Yes.
No. This is that's Casey where that really primitive thing. No, I will gladly provide some for you, but this is my pile of fries.
My wife does that all the time. I got to order an extra thing just so she can have some.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Sammy, while we have you on the phone, give your gig a plug for Friday night.
Okay, playing 118 North in Wayne. I think the show starts around 8 o'clock. Our friend's band, High Kick, is opening. My band is called Vile Bread. It's Vilebred.
Yeah, and 118 North is a great venue. It's a small music venue, and so get out and support local music and support local venues like this. It's Friday night, this Friday in Wayne.
Yeah, yep.
All right, Sammy,
have a good one.
Have a good gig. We'll talk to you. Thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it. I will go next to Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Good morning.
You who?
What's up, Mike?
Well, I'm a union iron worker, and we used to put our lunch boxes in the work trailer while we were at work, like on a building or something. And we had an overweight foreman, and he would take little bits and pieces out of everybody's lunch boxes, and like not say anything. So I come creeping in like a couple minutes early before lunch, and he's got his hand in my lunch box, and he's eating my lunch. And we ended up getting into a physical confrontation, man. You just don't do that.
No. Yes. No, you don't.
You do not steal another man's food.
Yeah.
Like when you're hard working like that, no. So I told him, I said, you got to put him up, man. You got to duke up for this.
No, duke up.
Hey, let me ask you, do you remember what your lunch was for that day, what he was tearing into?
I absolutely remember because it was a smoked
turkey
with salami on a long roll, and I used to put pickles in a Ziploc bag. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday, and this happened like 15 years ago. And I swear to God, I was incensed. I lost my mind. I literally beat my foreman up.
Mike, was he stealing the sandwich or the pickles?
Both, man.
No,
dude. No, I mean,
yeah.
Did you get fired for fighting your foreman?
No, I got laid off. You can't get fired in union. They just send you somewhere else.
Did you tell them the sandwich that he was eating? I think they would have.
I told him. I was like, yo, he was stealing my lunch. And
the
like,
pickles.
Yeah. And they were like, all right, well, you'll just report some results on Monday. I'm like, all right.
And he gets off scot free for stealing. I mean, stealing. He broke the law.
There's a rule. There's an unwritten rule. If it doesn't belong to you,
that's not unwritten.
Look at it, don't touch it, and don't eat it.
Mike, that's not unwritten.
I don't think it's illegal to eat someone else's lunch.
It's illegal to steal. Stealing.
It's
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
it
not.
is. You're taking somebody else's property. That is stealing.
I think if you pushed it hard enough,
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
If I went down to Pagano's and just grabbed something off of the shelf and just started eating it,
store.
And he had the gall to call the cops on me.
Oh.
Yeah, and I got escorted off the job site.
By the way, we need a lawyer to call in to tell us if someone
Lawyer
takes some of your food.
Yeah, I mean,
was
I wrong?
I don't think you're
wrong.
No, you weren't wrong. I just
that guy deserved to get his ass kicked, Mike.
I just don't think that a police officer is going to come and arrest somebody or issue a citation for eating someone else's lunch.
There is an entire lunch division that responds to this stuff.
Well, you know what he told me was he escorted me off the job site, and he was like, I would have done the same thing.
I mean, that's a hell of a sandwich you had with you.
It's mine. That's what.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Mike.
Turkey.
Appreciate it, man.
On a long roll.
They just send you somewhere else. Dude.
Somewhere else.
You gonna eat
love that guy.
I don't work for you, but I gotta ask you a question. You gonna eat my lunch?
Yeah.
I mean, you had this written down as a topic before, and I know we're not going to get into it, but so I'll just add it here. I had lollipops stolen. I had a whole
Can
container.
we figure out who it was?
I have no idea who took it, but not only did they take all of my lollipops, but I had a container, and the container was tossed.
It was here? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, right over here, right in front of my phone. I had a.
Did you ever ask Jackie?
He said it wasn't him.
He said it wasn't him.
He said it wasn't him. But like
Yep.
it was an old container of those pretzel nuggets that have peanut butter in the pretzel, and that was when that was empty. I put Tootsie Pops in there.
And you saw
Blow Pops.
You saw the Blow Pops, the number going down, right?
Going
as
down.
you would come in.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody was eating them, and then they just took the rest of them?
And then I guess there might have been like 2 or 3 left, and then it just completely disappeared. It was gone.
Was it Kyle?
Probably. Probably.
I don't think Kyle would do that.
He's not a blow pop guy.
No, he's not.
I don't think so.
I texted a lawyer, by the way, to see if we can get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
And I'm hoping he's going to call in.
You waiting for a response? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get, in the meantime, we're going to get another call here. I'm going to go to Tom. Hey, Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Hey, good morning. And good morning to see you. What's up, bud?
So, I was in retail management right around 2020 when the pandemic lockdown started. And I walk into my local Acme to grab my breakfast burrito. And this is when, all foods are going, food's going quickly. And I'm just grabbing my burrito, and there's 2 grown men having at it for the last box of bagel bites.
They were fighting over bagel bites in the grocery store?
Yes.
Now, you can understand at that point, everyone thinks the world is completely ending, and you don't know if you're going to have to hoard bagel bites.
Yeah, this might be the last bagel bite you ever have. So were they in fit? Was it push and shove or fist fight?
It reminded me of the scene in Jingle All the Way where they're fighting over the last Turbo Man.
Turbo Man, yeah.
Wow, Turbo Man?
Yeah, it might as well have been Turbo Man.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy, man.
And did you just get out of there or wait to see what happened?
Well, I had to get to my job. I didn't have time for that. I got my burrito and coffee, and I did.
I got my burrito.
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
I'm happy.
All right, Tom. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, hang on. We have a criminal lawyer.
It's our friend Nick from Team Foster.
Oh, hey Nick, how you doing?
I am doing well, guys. How are you?
Wonderful. Okay, Nick, we need a call here. Casey asserts that if someone is stealing food from you, and by this we mean like lunch, not coming into your house and stealing food that way, but
lunch
if somebody
in a refrigerator at the workplace.
Yeah, somebody lunch in a refrigerator workplace, or maybe just takes food from you as you're actually
From their lunch pail.
Yeah, what is that a crime?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a loaded question because you said it was stealing, but I think the general answer is if I were on the prosecution side, I would certainly say yes. Because you're taking something that is not yours. You're taking somebody else's property.
I agree.
Thank you.
But who is going to press charges?
Well, no, it doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't mean it's
There's no
it's a-
police officer that's going to come arrest you because you
that
ate
doesn't
someone
mean it.
else's lunch.
So if a police officer doesn't show up, it doesn't make it to a crime. Someone's a home invasion. It doesn't mean that it's not a crime.
Right,
still,
but there's someone to press charges. Who's pressing charges?
it doesn't. No,
No.
Some
The
can be
person who had their
criminal.
food stolen can press charges.
Is that right, Nick?
Well, so in Pennsylvania, the person who's the victim of the crime reports it, and it's actually the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
The Commonwealth is
Gotcha.
not going to press charges.
I wouldn't be so sure. That is
Well, I think it's in Pennsylvania, theft is based on the value of the food. So if like you're Casey, right? I know you bring in $100 lunches every day.
I know.
Than what Nick is eating with his, his Hot Pocket.
Right. Yeah, I slum it.
All right. I was in an event recently with Montgomery District Attorney Steele.
Yes.
If somebody can get him on the line, we'll get
Take it to the next level.
You have the district attorney's number? Call him and see if he would come in.
He can't. He's on a bagel bite case
If
today.
he would weigh in on
Well,
this.
Nick was a DA. Were you not the DA in Philly?
I was a prosecutor.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
He knows what he's talking
Okay,
about.
so if
So I don't
someone
have to text Kevin Steele over this dumb topic.
if someone came to you and was does it matter? Does it depend on how much noise this person is making about being a victim of a crime?
So in Philadelphia, if it was a typical lunch, that would be a summary offense, which is a low-level offense. It doesn't even usually get an assigned prosecutor. It's basically a glorified citation.
Yeah.
And then if the DA were to decline to prosecute charges, you can actually file a private criminal complaint. So you can go down to the DA's office and be like, hey, listen, I want to pursue this personally. But I think the reality is, especially in this day and age in some place like Philadelphia with so much crime,
This wouldn't shoot to the top of the list.
Well,
I'll tell you this, and Nick. So it basically comes down to this: it's like if a tree falls in the forest, it still has fallen.
Yeah.
This is still technically a theft, which is a crime. Whether or not people choose to prosecute it or not doesn't mean it's not wrong and a crime. Correct?
I 100% agree with you.
Now, here's another question. With this guy that called in, that wasn't the first time it had happened. This dude was a recidivist, and he would prey upon several
other lunch pails.
And so this last one, where he took the sandwich and the pickles, that led to the fisticuffs and stuff like that. So if this was a repeated offense over and over and over and over and over again, and you had documented...
You could show a history.
You can show a history of this. Then can you...
Kill that person?
Yeah, are you within your rights to murder this person in front of his family?
I haven't checked lately. I don't think the death penalty is authorized.
Okay, all right.
You could aggregate the total loss, right? You could take all of these days that you can prove where he took it.
Yeah.
You can aggregate all that amount to make it a more serious crime. So it's unlikely to get to a felony level because it would have to get to thousands of dollars. But you could certainly get it into a more serious court.
All right.
So like this guy that shot the other guy for eating the last Hot Pocket, if he was indeed super hungry, could there be an insanity defense over the fact that the hunger itself made him unreasonable?
So insanity would be tough in those circumstances, but you could probably get down from first-degree murder to like third-degree murder, or maybe even involuntary manslaughter.
Okay, crime of passion.
Heat of passion.
Yeah.
Or an imperfect self-defense.
So like hangry could be hangirder.
Hangirder. All right. I'm hearing it.
So the creative defense attorney can make a lot of room, make a lot of hay with all of these things for sure.
So by the letter though, stealing someone's food, it's criminal offense.
Yes. Stealing someone's food without their permission, unless it was a...
There you go. It's a crime. Now, so whether you choose to pursue that or not, that's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the issue that Kathy has. Casey was saying that it's definitely illegal.
Kathy's a defense
Yeah,
lawyer.
and so, Nick, you're saying that, like, I probably can't get the cops in here to investigate my missing lollipop.
No, and I think, Nick, at this point, you would say that's more a federal thing,
right?
Oh, 100%. Federal time. You're looking at 20, 30 years.
Well, we assume the person lived in New Jersey, so they took them across state lines.
Right.
So therefore, it's going to become a federal offense. Yes. Interesting. Nick, thank you for your expertise. We appreciate it.
Always happy to do it. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you later. All right.
Would Homeland Security get involved with this? The lollipops?
If you were at the airport, maybe. I'm not really sure. All right. Anyway, Case, do we need to take a break? I know we have our guest coming up at 9, right? And it's almost 9, so we better do that now. Well, thank you. But, don't take other people's food.
It ain't cool.
It's not cool. And some people may have had a really, really, really bad day, and they're not having it. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to have Nate Berkus to join us, and he's going to tell us all about creating a stylish, multifunctional outdoor living space for you this summer. We'll be back in a second. Hang in there.
Preston and Steve.
Salazar Slytherin, Godric Gryffindor, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Helga Hufflepuff.
That is correct. Those are the full names of the 4 Hogwarts house founders. So far, all my questions asked have been buzzed in early on.
Yes, they have.
They're extremely confident. Now, these are the easiest of the questions. Final question in the first round. Harry Potter's birthday is July 31st. Which character was born one day? Let's go to Lauren.
Neville Longbottom.
That is correct. Born one day before him.
Oh my God.
And the total so far in round 1, Nick.
Lauren with 3, Steph with 1.
All right, 3-1.
3-1.
And these two are jumping in before every single, before I had a chance to finish every single
good.
question.
I mean, we have absolutely the best competitors you could possibly have.
Most definitely. All right, on to round 2. Right now, Lauren leads 3-1. Here's your next question. These are medium, and these are 2 points each. 2 points each. What is the name of Lavender Brown's rabbit?
Oh my God, that's literally the one pet I did not make a flashcard about.
Flashcard.
Steph was doing
I know
flashcards.
everyone else is.
You did flashcards?
Lavender Brown.
What is the name of Lavender Brown's rabbit? I'll give you guys about 5 more seconds to think about it.
Like flashcards for this contest?
Yes.
Yes! That's what a competitor looks like, Kathy.
High level flashcard.
I played Trivial Pursuit last night.
There you go.
Running through the cards.
Yes! These guys are serious.
All right, Kathy interrupted. So your 5 seconds starts now. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, they're not going to take a chance at it. It was Binky. Didn't know that? Doesn't even ring a bell, does it? Okay. Fair enough. Well, it's a good thing you didn't answer them.
Wow.
Next question.
Is there a deduction?
No.
There are no deductions.
No, if you get it wrong, you're not penalized.
Yes. You're not penalized, but you do kind of give up a little bit of information to the other competitor. All right, next is, what is Hermione's boggart? Okay, let's go to Steph.
It's Professor McGonagall telling her that she failed her exams.
She got it!
Nice!
So that's 2 points.
Yes.
And that means it's
all tied up.
It's 3-3.
Yeah.
All right, third question from the medium round, round 2. What animals represent each of the houses? All right, we're going to go to Lauren.
For Slytherin, it's a snake. Ravenclaw, it's an eagle. Hufflepuff is a badger, and Gryffindor is a lion.
That's correct. 2 points for Lauren.
I want to hang with these guys.
I'm telling you, man, they're so much fun. All right, and then the last question for the medium round, round 2, is how many staircases are... Okay, let's go to Lauren.
142.
That's correct. Staircases are at Hogwarts. Wow. All right, Nick. Totals.
After round 2, Lauren's still in the lead with 7, but Steph not far behind with 3.
All right, and it doesn't matter because going into this round, the points really jump up, and each question is worth 5 points each.
Wow.
As we
really
go for the quest of the Tri-Wizards Cup. And Steph, look, everybody, these guys are bouncing up and down. They're all excited.
I'm worried if that lavender one. I'm like, I know. Do I know anything?
All right, Casey, here we go. Final round. The most difficult questions that we could come up with yet. And here, this is really going to find out what you know about the Harry Potter universe. Let's go with this one. In response to the treatment of house elves, Hermione... Oh, all right. We had Steph ring in first.
It's called SPEW, the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare.
That is for 5 points.
Those index cards paying off.
To finish it, Hermione founded an organization called SPEW. What does SPEW stand for? And she's correct. The Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. Well done. What's the point total, Nick?
Wow, with that correct answer, Steph has moved into the lead. It's now 8-7.
Oh, my God. 1 point lead. All right, 2 more questions to go. Here we go. Get your hands by your button, or by your bell, I should say. What is Nearly Headless Nick's real name? Okay, we're going to go to Lauren. Lauren.
Nicholas Demimsey Pompsey? Something like that. I don't think I got it.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. So that means that, Steph, you can take a free guess no matter what. Even if you get it wrong, it's no big deal.
I know it starts with Sir Nicholas. The rest of it.
All right. You guys aren't going to get that right. Sir Nicholas Demimsey Porpington.
You guys were all around
It's that
it.
name that you're like, Sir Nicholas, moving on. You don't
I
read
know,
the
right?
full name.
It's so
British.
so many syllables, and
Yeah.
it's exactly.
That's a classic Harry Potter name, though.
This is the last question that we have here.
And it's anybody's game.
It's anybody's game right now. So this is in the past contests we've had runaways.
Yeah.
This time around, it's down to this last one. Here we go. Final question. On his 11th birthday, Dudley Dursley's parents take him and Harry to the zoo and also bring along Dudley's best friend. What is that friend's name?
They're looking at each other.
Lauren almost cursed right into the microphone.
It's a super minor character from the first book. I know that.
Repeat the question, Preston.
On his 11th birthday, Dudley Dursley's parents take him and Harry to the zoo and also bring along Dudley's best friend. What is that friend's name? They have this intense look. Steph looks like she has no idea. Lauren is kind of picking around in her brain.
Whoever he is, he's not a nice little boy.
Right. 5 seconds left.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna put a
might as well.
guess in.
Go ahead.
Albert.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. Nick, what does that mean?
That means with 8 points, Steph is our winner.
Oh, my God! Steph is the champion.
They are so evenly matched.
Oh, my
Wait, what was it?
Yeah, who was it?
Piers Polkis.
Loser.
Please.
I mean, I don't. That was neck and neck.
All right, just for fun, we had more questions, and we're never going to use these for anything. And while we have Steph as the winner of the Tri-Wizards Cup here this morning and the self-proclaimed expert of the Harry Potter universe, just for fun, let me try out a couple of other questions for you guys. Who was the freed female house elf who neither wanted? All right, let's go to Lauren.
Winky.
Winky is correct. How about this one? Okay, let's see what you know about the making of the films. Christopher Columbus directed the first 2 movies. David Yates directed the last 4. Who directed 3 and 4? All right.
Alfonso Yates? I know it's Alfonso.
All right.
I know it's Alfonso.
There were 2 people. Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire, respectively, was Alfonso Cuarón and Mike Newell.
Okay.
All right, and then one last one. Let's see. What'll be a good question? Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. What are Snape's very first words to Harry, and what is it believed they allude to? That's a hard one.
Snape's very first words to Harry.
You'll never get it because it's really intricate. So the first words were, "What would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel, infusion of wormwood?" And apparently, an asphodel is a member of the lily family, and wormwood can be defined as a state or source of bitterness or grief. Snape is alluding to the death of Lily Potter, Harry's mother.
Wow.
So that's supposedly some of the lore, but that was like
Oh my God.
insanely hard.
That makes me want to cry.
Designer, and actually, I have a close connection because I've been to Great Wolf Lodge a gazillion times. It's one of my favorite places that my family and I have gone throughout the years, and he designed the woodland villas they have there. Please welcome designer Nate Berkus to the show this morning.
Hey guys,
how you doing,
how
Nate?
Are you?
Nice to see you.
Great, thank you for having me.
No problem. And I love Great Wolf Lodge, man. Thank you for doing what you did.
Oh, you know what? It's going to be really cool. So I redesigned all the outdoor spaces. at the Woodland Villas. There's 30 new villas opening this fall. So you guys have to come back to
Yes.
Great Wolf Lodge and see it.
For
It's
sure.
Completely revolutionized.
There's been like a huge push now on, I see the commercials and so on and so forth. Preston's been raving about it for years. Kathy, you're a fan.
Oh, yeah. Love it there.
Well, it's undergone a massive renovation. It'll be open this fall. Bookings are available now. But, you know, I partnered with Great Wolf Lodge to design the Woodland Villa outdoor spaces as well as the new pool cabanas. But the entire resort has been completely redone top to bottom. And, you know, it's all about strengthening the pack, making memories. And the challenge was, how do we create a really elegant, beautiful, elevated environment that the parents will love so that when you get back to your Woodland Villa after a day in the park, you guys can really, you know, make memories that'll last forever. And it's all about those little moments of rest and respite in between. So it was a really big challenge for us, and we're really proud. There's even a dining room table that you can gather for meals or play ping pong with custom ping pong paddles.
Dude, that's pretty cool,
Look
dude.
at how
Yeah.
cool that is, you guys.
Well, you know,
Let me
Preston-
show you the other one.
Ah, there you
Those
go.
are cool.
Yeah. Preston always said, though, that one of the great attractions is the rustic bar that you're able to access,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Without
Well,
That sounds weird, Preston. That doesn't sound like you at all.
Not at all, right?
Get
To
in
have
there.
a cocktail while I'm hanging with my children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nate, how did this come about? Do you have a connection to the Poconos?
You know, I actually do have a connection to the Poconos. My grandparents met at summer camp in the Pocono Mountains. And so my family, my mother's side of the family is all from that area. But they approached me as a designer because I'm also a dad. And I can tell you as a dad of a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old what makes a great family vacation and what makes a family vacation that you never want to talk about again. And when you get the credit card bill, you just want to shred it and pretend like it never happened.
And so you know that. I want to ask you, because you talk about you designing spaces and designing, obviously, the feel and making a resort that's going to be restful and yet engaging and so on and so forth. What's the number one mistake someone makes when they start to set up an outdoor living area?
I'll tell you guys that, and then unfortunately I have to run. But
Yeah.
I don't know why people lose their minds with color and pattern and fabric outside when they don't want that inside. If you don't have orange inside in your living room, then you're not going to want it on your patio.
That's a good point. That's a good
That's
point.
the truth. You guys, thank you so much for having me.
You got it. All right, Nate Berkus, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. By the way, the villas, I was just reading about these. They're 1,500 square foot. They can accommodate 10 people, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a living area, queen size pull-out sectional, and then you get the kitchenette. And like you said, the table with the dining room table is a ping pong table.
So you've been talking about this for years. That's the only, that's the only way that I knew about it was from you espousing the benefits of it. And now you see the commercials, right? Like we're crazy. So I guess they're on a big swing up.
Yeah,
hitting the big time.
We had a lot of really cool times at Great Wolf. We went there, I don't know, 8 or 9 times.
Do you age out eventually? In other words,
I mean, listen, it is definitely marketed to children, without question. But there's loads of stuff for adults to do. But I don't see, adults going there without kids.
Right.
Definitely not. But I mean, the bars and stuff are they're situated to perfectly for where you can keep an eye on your kids, still have your cocktails.
Hey guys, you having a good time?
The food's really good. The activities that they have outside of the water park with the wands, this magic game that they have and stuff is just a blast, man. But yeah,
where is it in the
you can
Poconos?
age
Where
out.
exactly?
Scott Run, I think, is the area.
I don't know.
Is where it's
I
called.
forget the town.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Is that
Scott
it?
Run. And it's it's a couple hour drive.
Yeah.
And but you just totally
Drink.
you're right. And that was the first place I had ever been to where the wristband did everything for you.
Yeah, that's the best.
The wristband was your key. It was your get into
Credit
the water
card.
part. It was your credit card. It was absolutely everything through your wristband.
What kind of wristband is it? Is
Awesome.
it like a fixed, like a rubber, like an actual?
It's like a plastic one, with the notches in it that they tighten up and
It
put
has
on
like
there.
a chip in it.
Yeah, and inside it's got a little microchip, and you use that as everything.
You know
so
what-
you don't have to worry about dragging stuff around with you.
You know what, though? I recently went to Kalahari, which is similar to Great Wolf Lodge, and they do the thing with the wristbands, and I had you can walk around, you can get whatever you want. You get your coffee, you get food, like Preston said, you get into the water park, and all you do is scan it. Well, somebody was scanning, and it was not me, and I had a decent charge on. It took it took a while. It took about 3 or 4 weeks.
That's the problem with a lot of these things.
Well, and they had to go because you have to sign every time. At least at Kalahari, you have to sign, and so they had to go. They had to find the written, the receipt that was signed to see if it was my signature or not. They saw that it wasn't.
Kathy and Ron, this bill says I've been drinking a lot of wine. It's inaccurate.
No, but
and they did take it off for me, but I mean and it was the overlap of when that person checked out and when I checked in.
You know what? I was at a place, and this is just to jump onto this. Those, your car, your key card, whatever, to get into your room. A lot of businesses get creative with it. So I'm at this place. We went to go to a wedding for a family member. It was a lovely wedding. But I won't name the business, but they had the room cards that you would take, that you hold up to the little reader and you get into your room.
Yeah.
So I put it in my pocket with my credit cards and everything else.
Yeah.
And I go back that night to get in the room, and the card's not working. I go, okay, this sort of issue. I go out, go down to the front desk. I get a new card. I go up, and and then I go out again. I'm going to go get some water, or whatever. I go back, and the card doesn't work again. And then finally, I go, what's this? What's the story with this? She says, oh, did you put that in a pocket with your credit
card or your cell phone? Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'd suggest you improve this system because just about everyone is going to put it in a pocket near credit cards or a cell phone. It was absurd. So and I actually had to remember to isolate it somewhere, and not have it. I mean, you sure you've had that happen as well?
It's pretty standard. They tell you that, and a lot of them will stop working if you put it next to your cell phone.
Instantly, yeah. I think people walking around with cell phones and credit cards.
Yeah.
Coming back from the war, trying to get your hotel room.
People spitting on you.
You don't stay at this hotel.
Yeah. By the way, we have a caller who has a story about Great Wolf Lodge, and he's a birthday boy.
Oh.
Yeah. Mr. Peanut.
Hey!
Mike is on the line. Hey, Mr. Peanut.
Thank you guys so much for that celebrity shout out.
Oh, our pleasure. Our pleasure, my man. All right. Now, what was your Great Wolf Lodge story that you wanted to tell?
I would take my kids every year up there when they were young. And one of the first years that we were up there, my son, Brendan, discovered that if you step on the water, there was like little water chutes that would come up on this bridge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you step on all of them and then shoot the gun at the same time, you have double the water pressure. So we were one of those idiots that, when people would walk into the doors, they'd have clothes on, and you'd have enough time to walk. You could shoot it up in the air, and you'd have enough time to walk away and act like nothing happened.
All right, so it would shoot, and it would take it, a second and a half or whatever to get there, and in that time, you could duck away from the.
Yeah,
and they'd never know you did it.
We loved it. We loved it so much. We spent from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. They had to pull us out of there.
Oh my God!
Just shooting people with water.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're devious.
That's a
Mr.
great
Peanut.
idea. All right, Peanut.
That's a memory.
Happy birthday, bud. We'll see you later.
You guys
All right.
rock.
See ya. Thanks, man. Oh, that's too
I
funny.
love this story about when you went over to him after he'd been run over by the Peanut, and you gave him just a sort of perfunctory sort of test.
How many fingers am I holding up?
He's okay.
3. He's all right, everybody. Blood coming out of his mouth when I said that. Hang on, before we get into something else, we skipped traffic.
Oh.
So we need to do that as we have an obligation to it. And I think this is this our final look at
Nope,
traffic?
one more.
We got one more after this. So, Kathy, you can make this one okay, but the last one's got to be great.
Oh, right.
All
Okay, thanks.
What's going on?
The Blue Road southbound jams the Mid-County tolls to Ridge Pike, Broomall over to Media, and then on the northbound side from 95 to the Media bypass. Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound, heavy Willow Grove to Fort Washington. 95 southbound slowing from Cottman through to Bridge, and then on the northbound side from the Betsy Ross Bridge to Cottman. Schuylkill eastbound, heavy the Boulevard into the Vine westbound side. At 202, we still have that off-ramp partially blocked with a disabled vehicle now off to the right shoulder. Route 73 northbound at Franklin Avenue in Berlin, Camden County. We've got an accident. 2 left lanes are blocked on 73. 42 freeway northbound, still heavy 41 to 295. 55 northbound jams Deptford Hartford to 42. This traffic report brought to you by Acme. Springtime is better at Acme. Whether you're tailgating or grabbing snacks for school lunches, Acme has everything you need. Acme Fresh Foods, local flavors. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. I have a few City Beat stories if you guys are interested. In case he has some new City Beat music for us to play along with us. We have the Scooby-Doo-Wow thing here.
Scooby-Doo-Wow.
Definitely.
What's the new music, though? I'm very excited.
It's like this. All right.
It's a little bit more funky.
I like that. One more time, Case. Reset that so it goes.
Yeah.
All right. So
give me some skid.
USA Today, a USA Today publication in which readers vote on certain topics chosen by a panel of experts, have crowned Philadelphia as the #1 best city in the United States to walk in.
Really?
Allowing it for it to come in ahead of locations like New York, which was 7th overall, and Chicago, which was 9th. And those are both great walking cities for sure.
Well, give me the judging parameters here. Do tell.
Let me look.
Proximity to cheesesteaks?
No. And you know what? I don't think it indicates exactly what they chose as the metrics for this, Steve.
Just a general feel. I would say it probably has to do with a variety of things you will encounter. You talked about the nature of the people being pleasant, and also maybe crime figures in there as well.
And proximity to the places to visit as well. When you get to a town like Chicago, which is much bigger than Philadelphia.
Chicago?
It's Chicago. It's hard to get to some of the areas.
Chicago!
But you can hit a lot of Philadelphia in, not a whole lot of time. So according to the article, it says Philadelphia is beloved for its cultural and historical attractions, and its walkability is appreciated by residents and visitors. The most walkable parts of the city include Rittenhouse Square.
Yeah, absolutely.
Washington Square West. Filter Square, which I'm not.
Fittler Square.
Oh, Fittler. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It says filter here.
Does it really?
It is spelled Filter.
How can we trust this at all?
Bunch of liars.
So where's Fittler Square?
It's closer to the river, like 22nd and Sansom area.
Is it near the Fittler Club?
It's not too far from the Fittler Club. Yeah, same name, same derivation.
Okay. And it also says Center City East are some of the popular walking areas.
What cities have you been in besides Philadelphia that you would say are comparable? As far
Boston.
as walking, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Freedom Trail. And
it's hard to say this without sounding pretentious, so I don't mean to sound pretentious when I say this, but Paris in France is a great walking city.
You're right.
And,
I've been there.
There's a lot to see and do, and you can cover a lot of ground and a lot of museums and historical things. And so I've never been to Rome. I've heard Rome's a great walking city as well. But
you've
Paris,
been to Oklahoma.
I have. But Paris is my favorite walking city that I've ever visited.
Rome is supposed to be very similar in that nature. But yeah, I guess that's it, Nick. The for miles clocked, the amount of different things you can encounter that are interesting and fun and delightful.
But I was talking about like in this country.
Yeah, what's a terrible walking city is Los Angeles. Like it's so spread out.
It's not, no way meant for walking.
There's like a few different neighborhoods where you kind of can, but otherwise you're taking a car.
Oh, when we were there, Preston, we were walking and people kept coming up to saying, "What do you call that?"
Yeah.
It's called walking.
When I had to walk from the car to the ocean when we drove across the country, that walk sucked ass, dude. It was horrible.
Yeah, because you got to cross like the PCH, and it's just terrible.
No, and I've also, as I've said before, the just courtesy that I've experienced.
Yes,
walking in Philadelphia, believe it or not.
Now you're a major celebrity.
It gets a rep as a hard city, which it can be, but I've always found to be walking around the city pretty pleasant.
Yeah.
The people here are great.
What about walking in Memphis?
Well, I was walking
with your feet
10 feet off of Beale.
There's one street, and it's Beale Street in
That's
Memphis.
it.
Yeah, have you ever been?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, the Peacock Hotel is worth visiting, and Beale Street is worth visiting, and then the rest of Memphis can suck it.
Yeah.
Visit Philadelphia highlights the city's friendliness to those who prefer to use their 2 feet rather than take transportation, touting walking tours as an excellent way to uncover interesting facts about Philadelphia. That's another thing, too. All the historical signposts that are up, if you are indeed interested in looking around, can stop and read those and get some great information.
So hiking around, the area where I'm currently living in the Mount Airy area, around Germantown and Chestnut Hill, and there's a lot of signs up, and it's kind of wild. A place that I walk by fairly frequently when I'm out walking. There are musket ball holes in the wall that obviously date back forever to the Revolutionary War. It's amazing to see that.
And you know what else is pretty awesome? I did this once several years ago. It's just something to do was Rochelle and I and our friends at Chapman's took a Segway tour.
And you loved it.
That?
It was awesome.
You did that here, right?
Yeah, did it here.
Yeah, I did it too, yeah.
And it was a blast,
It was
man.
fun, yeah.
I mean, just number one, riding on those things is fun.
Yeah.
But number two, maybe taking a tour and finding out some of the historical and not just back to Ben Franklin. I mean, there are things that are pointed out in the 1960s and so on that you may not know about the city that are really cool.
One thing I did with you guys, and I'd never done before, and we haven't done in a long time, was the ghost tour and visiting some of the old parts of Old City and stuff. And it's fun and silly and a little campy with the ghost stuff, but you do learn a lot about the city in the process.
Claire just did it. Yeah, with the people visiting from out of state, and they loved it. Yeah.
Hang on, Dave wants to mention something here. Hey, Dave! What's up, bud?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. How you?
We're doing fantastic. You guys are talking about how great a city is for walking, and we just had a veteran suicide prevention hike 2 weeks ago through our organization, Reverend Warriors, and I'm out in Bucks, but I was one of the organizers. People flock to this hike every year because of the route we take, and it's everything from we start down by 30th Street Station. We're going by the Art Museum, Love Park, City Hall, Independence Hall.
Hey.
And we have a lot of Marines, so we go down to the Ton Tavern location.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
awesome.
Dave, Irreverent Warriors, are you guys the ones that wear the really tight shorts?
We do. We wear the silkies every year.
They were out of the camp out.
Yeah. I love it.
Yep, we were out at camp out, and I actually just got back this week, and I was out in Salt Lake City for the hike out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
We get people from all around the country every year, and Philadelphia is probably one of the top 3 hikes that's attended. And, I mean, seriously, when I was in Salt Lake, I found out there were guys out there that came out to Philadelphia this year.
All right. And a lot of it, besides the cause, is the location.
It's the location, and I'm not going to lie. Like we said, we were going to have about 150 cheesesteaks this year. So, yeah, people do flock for that.
Yeah.
They want to know they're going to have good food, but, that's really the thing is, they love running up the Art Museum steps.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big part of it, and the Rocky statue. And, again, the history of Philadelphia just makes it one of the best walkable cities in the country.
No, it's similar. It's one of the reasons that we also mentioned Boston. It has a similar vibe.
And as Dave said, the people flock.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't done that in a little while.
They definitely do. And you know what? I'm not advertising IW today, but I'm sure you guys have seen our hike and what we wear. We're not shy about being who we are, but that makes it even more interesting because people that are in the city see us walking around. They're like, who are these crazy guys? And they all get involved with it. We've crashed weddings, proposals. Honest to God, people see us and are like, oh, you're all coming here. Where are you from? And we're like, oh, Philly, California, New York. And even the people in the city respond really well to it.
That's great. It's great to hear that.
It makes it for a great experience.
Cool. All right, Dave, keep up the great work. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll see you. Also, it says walkability, according to Visit Philadelphia. Walkability is a huge draw for conventions, concerts, sporting events, and other large-scale happenings because you can get from place to place pretty easily.
The Super Bowl parade, the victory after that whole experience down there, perfect area on the Parkway, and that's when in one of those times where you appreciate the city and what we have that much more. It's just a magical memory. And I have a tremendous amount of memories of just walking around the city and a good vibe after we do sometimes the St. Patrick's Day broadcast or whatever, being out there and walking around. It was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Let me go to a couple more quick calls here. I have Tony. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Hey, good morning. And good morning to see you. What's up, Tony?
Born and raised in South Philly, and this city is eminently walkable. I mean, I used to walk to work back in the day from South Philly to Old City. Old City is just fantastic. There's so much greenery, history. It's not like, steel and glass.
Right.
it's just a fantastic, it's just an amazing city to walk in.
Tony, real quick question: how long would it take you to make that walk from South Philly to Old City?
I lived around where Pachinginos at the time, and so it would take me about not quite a half an hour. I would walk down Passyunk Avenue, and it would take me right to South Street, and then to Second and Chestnut, where I worked.
That's pretty cool, man. It's a wonderful thing.
I'd love to be able to walk to work. That'd be cool.
And also, not to sound pretentious, but Rome is a walkable city. My wife and I spent part of our honeymoon there, and we actually planned a day where in one day we saw the Colosseum, the Pantheon, the Spanish Steps. We hit all the sort of major sort of tourist stops in just like a 6 or 7 hour walk.
That's Tony, not to sound pretentious, but my butler said the same exact thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Preston, would you ever walk in from Harleysville?
Sure. Why not? I'll start, a day and a half before.
I walked from Center City here one time. I had an afternoon to kill, and I forget why, but I didn't have a car. And maybe my car was parked here. Anyway, whatever. And I walked along the river to Kelly Drive and made it all the way back up here. It was I wasn't in a rush. It was really nice.
There's one little hairy spot, right? Coming up that, is it not Monument, Presidential maybe?
In between City Avenue and the river.
Yeah.
It's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one time I walked from the stadiums to Center City as well, and it was the same kind of a deal. Like I wasn't in a hurry. It was really pleasant.
You just come up straight up Broad?
Yeah, and then into some of the neighborhoods in South Philadelphia.
Okay.
It's just there's a lot to see, and the fact that it's a grid is also appealing
that
to me.
helps a lot.
Where was it that Casey walked after a
That was the Blue Route, yeah.
No,
after the procedure, I had the colonoscopy at Penn back in August, and then I walked from University of Pennsylvania Hospital, Perelman Center, to City Hall.
To City Hall?
City Hall,
Oh.
yeah.
Which is far.
That is
after
far.
having a colonoscopy.
But I felt good. I was, I had a weird gait.
Oh, that's right, because you were under sedation and you couldn't drive.
I wasn't allowed to drive, and then I had to, against medical opinion, sign myself out.
Right. Marissa?
I'm going to say something that's going to make Kathy cringe. That's my doctor's office, too, and I make that walk all the time. Unless I have...
Yeah, but you didn't have a colonoscopy where they sedated you.
I was going to say, unless I have a girly doctor appointment, and then I don't do the walk.
Right.
That's just being nice.
All right. One more quick call, and then I'm going to move on to City Beat. Ra is on the line. Yo, Ra, what's up?
Portland or
Shut up. Dick.
Listen, I too live in the Germantown, Chestnut Hill. Don't follow me. No one come and stalk me or anything. But big up to Uptown. Listen, Chestnut Hill especially pre-pandemic, used to be a beautiful day, especially when you could dip in and out and get the little breads and the little cheeses and little samples and whatnot. You walk up one side and walk down the other side. So that was Chestnut Hill and Germantown Avenue.
Yep.
And then Main Street Manioc.
Yep.
Got to mention Main Street Manioc is awesome.
Yeah.
We also have Kelly Drive, right? Walking down that where everybody's jogging and everything and looking at the river by Boathouse Row and all that good stuff. And then right over to Fairmount. Those are awesome.
All good choices. Yeah, every one of them. And you're right. I'm seeing some stuff come back, Rod, concerning, that the little cheese shops and places that kind of went away after COVID, but I'm seeing some new ones come in. And hopefully it'll return to its former glory, both Manioc and Chestnut Hill.
Awesome.
Nice. All right, Ra. Thanks, man.
All right, now.
Talk to you. And by the way, we're lucky in that outside of the main metropolitan area of Philadelphia, because he mentioned Chestnut Hill and a few others, and Manioc, which is technically part of Philadelphia, but it's removed. You know that. Are all the villages in our area that you can walk around. I have one even way out in Harleysville. Skipback is a wonderful little walking village. It's great. And there's what is Ardmore? No, Ardmore's nice too.
Narberth.
Narberth is great.
And I'm thinking of
that's Phil Weston territory.
Is it Ambler that I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
Ambler's great.
Yep.
They're awesome little. We're really lucky.
Yeah.
Really lucky to have those great walking areas.
Hey,
So-
what's the best walking town in Jersey? Because I don't
Cape
know.
May?
Camden.
Well, I meant in between here and the shore.
Yeah, Haddonfield is really nice.
Okay.
Haddonfield is
Where
nice.
does
Collingswood,
where's
I
Tim
like.
Graham?
Oh, geez.
Is that Morris?
Oh, yeah, that little Merchantville?
Merchantville.
Right. So
You're right.
they do all the holiday decorations and all that stuff.
Where is Sarah Parker? Her husband runs an escape room. Is that in
I don't know.
That's a great little walking town.
So there's
too,
a
and I can't
cool
remember. I'm
little
gonna look it up.
street in Collingswood where the pop
That's
shop
it.
is. Yeah.
It's in Collingswood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I went during the bend to the shore. We ride through that
nice.
little area.
And what town
it's
does Chuck
cute.
live in?
He lives in Barrington.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot of great areas. We're lucky. All right, City Beat. Let's move somewhere else here. All right, we are going to go over to Jersey.
Oh, how about that?
And Steve, I think you sent this to me. And I didn't see what the source of this was, but it is essentially a review of the celebrity named rest stops along the Atlantic City Expressway and Garden State Park.
I think it was in Philly Mag.
Okay, Philly Mag. So there are a few that were named after celebs. In fact, we had said that we were wondering if Bruce Springsteen had one. Apparently, he passed on that.
Oh.
I don't want it.
They made that offer to him. But you have Whitney Houston, James Gandolfini, John Bon Jovi, and so on. So they went from Long Beach Island to Cape May and wanted to see the quality of the stop, see if they measure up to the celebrity named emblazoned in front of it.
Right. Were they
So
worthy?
they evaluated the essentials, food options, special characteristics, bathroom cleanliness, and overall celebration of its namesake. So here are the ones they came up with of the best of the results. So you have the Celia Cruise Service Area, which is Long Beach Island. Celia Cruz, by the way, I'm not familiar with the name, but let's see. She was a Cuban-born salsa music star.
Ooh.
And so they said that they lay claim that the Celia Cruz Service Area is the best of the celebrity named service areas.
Wow.
Yes.
Clean.
So here's the review.
Cuban.
The floors are immaculate. This is the Long Beach Islands around that area. The floors are immaculate. The tables don't wobble. And all the paper towel dispensers in the bathrooms are functional at the Ocean County Parkway stop mile marker 75 in Forked River.
We're in heaven.
The Burger King self-order screens weren't working on this particular day, but otherwise the service was fast. And it's the only location that you will find a Nathan's in.
I love Nathan's.
And there is not a dog walking area, but there are full sets of tables and chairs outside. The only site of the 4 that were visited that had this accommodation. Most importantly, it pays homage to the namesake better than the rest. Inside, the stop displays concert-used artifacts, including a headdress and sequin top, as part of an exhibit on Cruz's life and accomplishments. And unlike 2 other stops on this list, the Cuba-born salsa music star's name is actually emblazoned on the front of the building. Then you have, up next, second place, the Frank S. Farley Service Plaza.
Yes, he was like a lieutenant governor or something like that. Is that what he was?
It says he was a political power broker.
Okay.
So, for the traditionally
PPB.
Philly-flavored beach town strung between Atlantic City and Cape May, the best stop is Farley.
So you guys all concur?
Farley.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I don't.
Well, it's in between here and AC. It's the best.
Yeah.
I think
It's the
Kathy.
only one.
I think that's what Kathy said the other day. The best part is you're almost there.
Yeah.
By the time you stop there.
There is another service stop, Nick, that is like either right before or right after the toll booth in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It's
like gas station and not much else, right?
And the 7-Eleven as well. It's not great.
So it says here, despite not being part of the 2021 naming initiative since it's not on the Parkway, the only stop on the Atlantic City Expressway that's open 24 hours a day at mile marker 20 is still stands as a standard bearer for the Southern Shore rest stops. There's a lovely quarter-mile nature walk for motorists to stretch their legs, an outdoor farmer's market.
Mm-hmm.
There's up shop between Memorial Day and Labor Day.
A quarter-mile strolling area?
Yep, there is a little park.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
There
like
is.
a lot of people take their dogs there. You know, if they're traveling with their dogs, get them out.
And at times throughout the summer, Hamilton Plaza hosts many festivals and food trucks there, too.
Yeah.
At Frank S. Farley.
That's really hopping.
There's even a grassy rectangle enclosed by a plastic picket fence for pet owners to walk their dogs. And there are a few drawbacks, they said, though. The furniture inside the food court is a bit dated, and more than a few automatic sink faucets didn't work. And when they did, the water spit instead of splashed, and several automatic soap dispensers barely leaked out a dollop of pink soap. And the Starbucks is fine, but the Burger King service was slow and the quality wasn't ideal.
And for whatever reason, I don't know why, the soap in the restroom, and I'll check it again this year, but even no matter how long you scrub your hands and you wash it off, it still feels like the soap's on your hands.
Okay.
I will say though,
why does that happen?
Because I do like the Burger King they have there, but if there's a line of like any more than 2 people, I won't go because the service is really
They
slow
have
there.
an actual convenience store attached as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this would be the Frank Sinatra service area. Yes. Frank's name isn't on the facade yet. It still says Atlantic Service Area. But his songs
have to be.
And Jerry's kind of, connected to South Jersey Shore. So it would need to be something there.
Well, there's one a little further south that is called the Toni Morrison Service Area. Casey,
the author?
You were
Yeah.
speaking about this one.
Yeah.
The Toni Morrison stop in Ocean View is still awaiting its facelift. So at this point, it's just a gas station on a concrete island at mile marker 18 and a lost opportunity for this gateway to Wildwood and Cape May.
Yeah, it's also a cut through. So if you're coming north on the Garden State Parkway and you need to get to Sea Isle, there's no exit for Sea Isle going north. So you go through, you go into that service area, and then you go out, and then as soon as
that's the one that's after Sea Isle? It's not closer to Wildwood.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
I know that one. Yeah, it's just a
The
gas
Toni
station
Morrison?
and like a
Yeah.
tiny. There's a dunk in there.
Some
I
of them
think.
they just call them rest stops, but they're really like just paired. They're more ornate service stations.
But that'll still be small because it's literally like a slab in the middle.
There's picnic tables and stuff out there.
Yeah, a couple of them.
So, by the way, it says the A plus is more like a C minus. So this shop is an A plus. Not a gas station. There.
Snap.
It says the good news is the coffee is cheaper than a typical Starbucks order,
But
and
the gas is way more expensive.
and should save between $2 and $3.
Yeah.
Its best asset is a full desk dedicated to tourism information and pamphlets. And it is staffed 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's got to be a lonely job.
Right. And overall, the stop is...
Can I help you? No, I'm going to the bathroom over here.
The stop is open 24 hours a day. I didn't know that, from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's good. But for the rest of the year, it's open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Now, this full desk that you speak of, it's not necessarily what I'm talking about, but there are places like Preston. If you're going into Wildwood, there's like this, before you get into the bridge, when you're like on Rio Grande, right before that bridge is this little, like a welcome center. And like you can get
What do you
like-
want?
Yeah, I know. No, but you can like, get like discounted park tickets and stuff like that there.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is it?
That is right before you go over the bridge into Wildwood. And I believe also in Wildwood proper, there might be like the municipal town center where you can do the same thing. But
Oh, yeah. I've seen the building, and I've never stopped by there, and have thought about popping in just to see what they have.
And I think they have one when you're going into Ocean City. They built that gigantic bridge to the 9th Street going in, and there's a welcome center there as well. I don't know, but I'm like, why would anybody Why do people stop there? You know what I mean? What's the gimmick?
I can't imagine that now with that information readily available, obviously online.
Right.
You know, say for gift coupons or whatever, or discounted things. Those things it got to be a nightmare to get. Your gig is manning one of those things.
Yeah. But after you've already spent a couple of hours trying to get down the shore, especially if you're going down on a Saturday with the rest of everybody, and the last thing you want to do is stop somewhere. Right
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Please.
All right. One more thing from the City Beat desk here as we share a couple more stories. All right. And this one is actually at the shore as well. I don't know why I do like half of these.
Wait a second. You're the beachcomber
No,
now,
I'm not. I'm not. So it affects people who live in the city.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Are you sure? You sure sound like the beachcomber.
All right. Atlantic City prepares to launch its first ever permanent entertainment and dining residency on the boardwalk. Spiegel World.
Schmiegel World?
Spiegel World.
I'll take you to your table.
An entertainment company known for its live performances and culinary experiences in Vegas is opening a new show at Caesars, Atlantic City, beginning June 30th. The Hook.
Your memories will be precious.
The Hook will entertain visitors each week with an international cast of adult comedy hosts, acrobats, and variety artists from around the world.
The Hook.
As well as new restaurant and cocktail bars.
Do they have an illustration of what it will look like?
I've not seen anything. So the show is going to take place in a custom-built venue that uses the preserved boardwalk-facing facade of Atlantic City's historic Warner Theater. The team behind The Hook also includes Tony-winning scenic designer Christine Jones, who worked on Broadway's American Idiot and Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and costume designers, creative directors, choreographers, and visual artists whose work can be seen in major venues around the world. So think Cirque du Soleil.
So we're looking at, is this a teaser of the projected
I'm assuming
project?
so. I haven't seen it.
It looks kind of enticing, but yes, it does have a very Cirque du Soleil feel to it.
Yeah, and Vegas shows doing
they need that
acrobatics and comedy and stuff like that. So this would be not a tour. This is going to be set up. This is a show.
You
in
go down
Atlantic
to see
City.
it. Yeah,
I'd like something like that.
So would I.
It's great for people who come in and out. I mean, if you see it once, then you've seen it. But
right.
It'd be great for visitors. Organizers have remained.
Fish Carrot top playing.
Organizers have remained fairly quiet about what crowds can expect, specifically from the 75-minute show. Besides comedy and jaw-dropping superhuman feats, they didn't offer much other than that. So, I remember in Vegas when I was a kid, we went there and we went to something like this where they had like strongmen and acrobats and stuff. It was cool.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
So that's coming up.
Jefferson's on Ice.
The Jefferson's on Ice. Wait, what was that from?
Kingpin.
No. All right, City Beat. That's it. We are done.
It was good.
Few things in and around our area, the city. But we got to wrap this up. And a reminder that we have a secret text word today. Your chance to win some tickets to see Andrew Schultz, comedian, who's going to be at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City Saturday, July 29th. So text the word secret to 39333. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Why it's so much fun to go back and rewatch the movies and reread the books.
It's poetic. Every time I reread, I find something that I'm like, well, how did I not see that before? Like, it's a connection.
Well, you guys, you just put on a Harry Potter clinic. I mean, that's some amazing stuff, and you were neck and neck for the whole thing. It's just amazing.
Steph, I am now proud to bestow upon you the honor of the Preston and Steve Tri-Wizards Cup for your triumphant victory in Battle of the So-Called Experts.
Oh my God! It's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Be careful when you hold it by the snake handles. They are a little bit sensitive, and we
when
don't
she
want that to
first
fall.
grabbed it out there, she was like, it's not a port key, is it?
Yeah, I'm like, this will not lead to my death, will it?
No, you're safe.
You guys are awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. We hope you had fun. All right, and there it is again, folks. We've done it. We'll have to come up with some of the. If you have any suggestions of some good topics for Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts, let us know. We'll certainly take those into consideration. There's loads of things that we can go to in the worlds of entertainment and sports and history and whatever it may be.
And some of these things are so voluminous, you could at some point, you may have to, Steph, defend your classification as the champion of all champions.
Yeah, you never know.
It's so big, there's so much to hit upon.
Yeah.
I did mean to mention this earlier, but we're going to also award Steph and Lauren passes to the Harry Potter exhibition that's coming to the Franklin Institute next year. So they haven't announced the official dates for that yet, but it'll be at some point in 2022. It's the world premiere. It's going to happen right here in Philadelphia at the Franklin Institute. The Harry Potter the exhibition coming to Philly in early 2022.
Excellent, and thank you to Eva Josinez for the Tri-Wizard Cup that we had. She fired it in her own kiln, made it from scratch. It's beautiful, and now Steph is the proud owner of that. So nice, excellent, great work, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us. We will return shortly.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
A youngster inadvertently earned his parents a citation when he told a Michigan DNR officer that there were no life jackets.
I'm from Michigan, and we have not enough life jackets.
One last story. Netflix reports that the company's 183 million subscribers are watching more international fare during the coronavirus lockdown. CEO Reed Hastings said that La Casa de Papel, which is also known as the Monkey Heist, has managed to garner 65 million eyeballs.
Would you want to watch the Monkey Heist?
And that Germany's...
Look at that monkey took a banana.
Isn't it the Money Heist?
Money Heist.
Where did you get the monkey? Perhaps the monkey is stealing the money.
I told you to take the money, not the monkey! What am I going to do with all these monkeys?
The monkey has eaten the money. I told you not to put the bananas in the same bag with the money. Shut up.
Oh my God, Preston, I'm sorry.
I'm such an idiot.
The falcon has flown. We've got the monkeys. Come again? We've got the monkeys. Right here on this paper, it says Monkey Heist.
La Casa de Papel means money heist. Money.
I would like to watch the Monkey Heist.
Oh, well, who wouldn't?
Oh, God.
And also Germany's Unorthodox, I think I got that one right.
Yeah.
And Italy's Summertime are doing well on Netflix. So,
God damn it, what are we going to do with all these monkeys?
Internationals.
I don't know how we ended up down this path, but that kid does that in that scene in the gym, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, so onions, unions, poop on the floor.
If we do the backtrack, we'll find out where we went.
Shouldn't we do that to jump rope, Casey? Onions, union, poop on the floor. Onions, union, poop on the floor.
Right, Kat?
I'm not taking part.
No,
Come on, Kathy. Come on, jump in, Kathy. Onions, union, poop on the floor.
No.
Onions, unions, poop on the floor. No?
No, I'm mad at you. I can't believe you're part of
What?
this.
No, that's a good chant. Vito Spatafor.
My mama said that you want more.
Onions, unions, poop on the floor.
We're double dutching now.
Come on, man.
Can you double dutch, Kat?
I can't. I've
Me
always
neither.
wanted to learn. And
Okay.
I can't.
Could
Were
we
you
try
too
that in the
afraid-
studio? Because I can't do it.
Were you too afraid to jump in the middle?
I couldn't time it
I
out
just-
right.
Yeah, I can't time it. I can jump rope. I'm an amazing
I've done
jump
it.
roper.
Can you do it?
You can
Maybe.
double dutch.
Yes, I can double dutch.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
You don't remember that song?
No.
Double dutch.
No.
Double dutch.
Oh my gosh.
The double dutch bus. You guys don't remember that?
I do remember it,
Of
yeah.
course.
You
No.
remember that?
No.
That's the story that you remember on the air the other day, and I was about to crack the mic, and I come on out of the song, and I go, Casey, don't ever say something to that like that to me right before I turn the microphone
That was
on.
it?
Imagine
That was what he was telling me.
You travel that way, but it's good to know. It's good to,
Yes.
you come prepared.
It's
You don't go
outstanding.
camping without a shovel.
That's hilarious. Good for him. All right.
I know somebody who has to get those sheets too.
Really?
Yeah.
Rubber sheets?
Yeah. It's like a sex mat.
Wow. You? Okay.
I know. Why? Why? It's just that
Why would your mom share something like that?
Not cool.
Not
Listen,
cool,
we bring up her dad all the time. It's fair game.
No, yeah, and she has to buy a sex mat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Some of those videos might be real. The woman was reportedly uninjured and escaped without a scratch. No further information about the couple charged by the bison was immediately available, but it's funny because she hits and boom, she stays still.
Wow.
And they leave her alone.
There have been a number of stories recently about people getting far too close to these bison.
Yeah, they get gored.
They're getting gored.
He charges her, and then as soon as she falls and plays dead, he just kind of sniffs her and like runs away.
Yep.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I got a word for you. It's called douche.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's some nasty smelling stuff out on the plains there, but
Yeah.
come on.
I live in the wild and nothing I've ever smelled smells like your crotch.
Jimmy rides a motorcycle, and he's got something to say about as far as getting used to driving. Hey, Jimmy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's up?
Hey, yo, bud. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what threw me off real quick is I've been driving bikes for 25.
He just crashed.
Just crashed
Oh my
his
God.
motorcycle. Jimmy? He might have.
We lost him. Jimmy, we appreciated you listening.
His final words were, I've been driving.
Never had an accident, not even one time.
Hey, I didn't know Exxon had fuel trucks in it. I'm sorry, I just got to turn into the mobile station.
Terrible.
God, I hope he's actually okay.
Our next guest wrestles with the WWE, and he is from the area, and we were surprised to find out that he grew up listening to our show. We're stoked to welcome Mr. Drew Gulak to the program this morning.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, Drew?
I'm wonderful. This is really surreal. I did grow up listening to the show. I listened back when it was Preston, Maryland. And
All the way back. Y100, yeah.
Yeah.
I joined, it was Preston and Maryland, then Preston, Maryland, and
that's right.
Steve. Then
for just like a few weeks, and then Preston, Maryland, Steve, and then Maryland went on her own. She'd bailed from the show, which we're still buddies with her to this day, and then it became the Preston and Steve show.
Well, there's a step in between where it was the McNeil Lair report, right between that and when Maryland left, and then we became our show.
Yeah.
We don't know why we did that. It was very stupid.
So it's pretty wild. The way we found out about you is you had commented on a post I had on Instagram, and I saw the little blue check by your name, and I'm like, what's this all about? And then we find out a little bit more that you grew up in the area. I was just so blown away to see you comment on my edible cheese board that I had made.
It was a beautiful edible cheese board, and I saw there might be another one.
I made one last night, and I brought it in.
I'm so sorry.
We're going to sample it.
I'm so sorry you made
No,
one
I
for
need
me.
it. I'm working on it.
You picked a good one to dive in on, though, because we had had the conversation, and we do the thing called the connoisseur, and Preston brought up this thing, and everybody's going, man, that sounds awesome. And then he posted the picture, like almost that night he took a crack at it, and everyone's going, man, that's awesome. So you dove in at the right point. If you're ever going to make a comment, the baked charcuterie board was the time to do it.
That's the ticket in.
That was it.
And this is only the second one I've made, so I do need to work on it a bit, so I don't feel bad at all that I had to make another one.
No,
So
I'm already impressed.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
So where did you grow up in the area?
So to the age of 10, I lived in Montgomeryville.
Okay.
And then I moved to Fox Chase in Northeast Philly. And then was there through high school, went to Drexel for 2 years.
Was it Northeast High that you went to?
Yeah, Northeast High School.
Right.
Most
Where were you
popular
studying?
high school in the city.
Where were you studying at
That's
Drexel?
164. At Drexel, I actually went to be an architectural engineer.
Okay, yeah, that's the school to go to.
That lasted 1 quarter because I did quarters there.
Yeah, dude.
Was it just too hard? Or
It's hard.
It wasn't so much it was hard. I just wasn't interested in like all the math.
Okay.
Do you know what the great part of architecture is? Building the little tiny replicas of what you're going to build. To me, that was it. That was always so
I'd
cool.
still be doing it.
Yeah.
Drew, when my very brief college moment, I took astronomy. I'm like, yeah, I've always loved the stars.
Yeah.
This would be really cool. It'd be really interesting. My God, was it hard?
It's physics.
It was all physics and math, and I'm like, this is not what I signed up for, man.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I
it was
had to bail
like.
on that. No
that's
kidding.
exactly what it was like. I switched into film for a little bit, and just decided I wanted to focus on wrestling, which is I've been doing that since high school.
So were you football or anything in school?
Wrestling team.
Just a wrestling team.
Just the wrestling team.
So you do have a classical wrestling.
Yeah, an amateur wrestling background.
How did you do in high school? How were you?
I did okay.
Okay.
So city kids have it tougher. Like if you grew up in the suburbs, you're probably doing wrestling from a very young age, and you're doing it a lot.
Yep.
And for me, it was like I met my biology teacher. He happened to be the wrestling coach, and he was like, "Hey, come try out for the team." And like I made the team, and the practices were grueling and stuff. And I did pretty well. I think I made varsity senior year. It was captain senior year. Varsity maybe sophomore year, junior year. Yeah. So I did okay, but it wasn't like my one focus too.
Right.
Like while I was doing that second year of amateur wrestling, I started training professional wrestling, which was, I don't know, thinking back, I love talking about it because I would go from high school and then I would go to high school wrestling practice, and then I would get in a car, drive 45 minutes to Deptford at the time, and do professional wrestling practice till like 10:30 at night.
Wow.
Then I get home and I got to wake up the next morning. I remember
that's commitment.
Man, yeah, it was grueling then, but like I loved pro wrestling so much, and like, nothing was going to stop me.
So going from the amateur to pro, obviously, you got to work on the moves. You got to know what you're doing. You have to be proficient in the ring. But you also have to, is a part of that, being physically large. I mean, making sure that the muscles are big and impressive, because that's part of it. Looking at those guys, looking at you guys, you have to go, wow, man.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing outside of just the technique of wrestling. It's also, you got to look really good too.
It's true. It's true. And like when I started, I didn't even think about physique. I didn't think about strength training. I had a wonderful strength training.
All right, B-File time.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Mulch Works of Aston. They offer the highest quality mulch and topsoil that's manufactured on site. And they also have leaf compost, decorative stone, pavers, and more. Delivery or pickup for residential and commercial markets. You can visit mulchthis.com for more information. A landlord in Duluth deliberately set his apartment on fire, all while blasting Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire."
But he did,
according to recently filed charges.
Just because he's trying to get the height of irony?
Travis Carlson faces one felony charge of first-degree arson in connection with the incident, and apparently officials were dispatched at about 4 a.m. on the report of an upstairs apartment fire. When emergency crews arrived, they found the upstairs apartment on fire with "We Didn't Start the Fire" blaring from the unit. Like this was done on purpose. The song and everything was put together on purpose.
Presentation.
Yes. So the downstairs tenant said they woke up to the landlord, identified as Carlson, smashing glass and breaking things for about 20 minutes. Carlson then knocked on the downstairs tenant's apartment, telling the tenant that the house is on fire.
Had someone eaten his pickle loaf?
Possibly. A neighbor also told officers they saw Carlson under his truck with gas cans going in and out of the house. As an investigation revealed a drilled hole in his truck's gas tank with lids to gas cans lying around the truck. The complaint also noted that green liquid lines from the burnt accelerant stained several pieces of furniture in the apartment. Officials say Carlson was found the next day with fresh burn marks on his arms and legs. And if convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison.
So after all that stuff, he went and had a casual dinner with Brendan Eddy at an Italian restaurant.
But listen, he didn't even go to the gas station. Like, he needed to do this right now. He drilled holes in his gas tank.
That's a short song.
To get the gas.
Got to get it done.
Yeah. A woman wearing a pink dress is accused of carrying out a series of odd thefts in a rural Florida community, one of which involved riding off on someone's $120,000 John Deere tractor. Why the 46-year-old wanted the tractor is unclear, but detectives note that it was not the strangest thing taken during the spree. Apparently, bed sheets, blue jeans, toiletries, camouflage wading boots, several packages of frozen venison, and a bottle of wine were also taken from the home.
The way you rattled off those items, it sounded like we didn't start the fire.
Bed sheets, blue jeans, toiletries, and camouflage wading
6
boots,
gerbils,
several
2 cats, a
packages of
hamster,
frozen
and a rabbit.
venison. The woman is also accused of sleeping in one of the victim's beds. At last count,
like the 3 bears.
The suspect was facing 3 misdemeanors and a whopping 35 felonies with more possible.
I'm assuming perhaps some drugs were involved?
A neighbor was first to report something suspicious after seeing a female in a pink dress was driving a tractor in the area. A farm property manager managed to detain the suspect when the tractor, a nice big John Deere model 6120R, stalled and deputies arrived and arrested her. They found the woman had a knife with a 5-inch blade along with other people's credit and debit cards, social security cards, a driver's license, and a dental plan card.
Well, you got to keep your choppers looking nice.
The suspect became irate when deputies attempted to put her in a patrol car, but the sheriff's office said that she kicked and cursed at deputies and even made a death threat to 2 of them. So she's in trouble.
It's a heck of a day.
But she was wearing a darling pink dress when it all took place. A Georgia inmate tunneled through a wall in a jail facility in Fulton County, Georgia, not to an escaped, but it was an attempt to killing a man in the neighboring cell.
Yeah, I saw this. The hole that he bored is straight out of Shawshank.
Kavian Thomas allegedly dug a hole through a wall in a shower stall at Rice Street Jail.
Coming to get you.
Granting him access to the adjacent cell block. He then launched an attack on Darodney Russell, another inmate.
What are you going to do, bore through the wall?
Thomas stabbed Russell multiple times. Once he successfully entered Russell's cell, Russell sustained a superficial stab wound to his upper body and was treated in the medical unit of the jail for his injuries. After the incident, officers checked both cells and discovered several weapons in both cells, some made from parts of the dilapidated building infrastructure. The sheriff's office said that Thomas will face additional criminal charges for the attack. Thomas was previously charged with theft of stolen property, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon as well.
Imagine if this guy ran a demolition company, how successful he'd be.
A father and son from Massachusetts have both been sent to prison for running an elaborate lottery fraud scheme designed to enrich themselves and help prize winners avoid paying taxes on their windfall.
That's my boy.
Ali Jafar and Yusuf Jafar had cashed in 14,000 winning lottery tickets over a roughly 10-year period, laundered more than $20 million in proceeds, and then lied on their tax returns to cheat the IRS out of about $6 million.
Say you're pretty lucky. Yeah, I've won 14,000 times.
The Jafars purchased winning lottery tickets at a discount from people who wanted to avoid identification by the State Lottery Commission, which withholds taxes and outstanding child support payments from payouts. After purchasing the tickets, using the stores that sold them as go-betweens, the Jafars claimed the full prize amount. And although they reported the winnings on their tax returns, they also claimed equivalent fake gambling losses as an offset to avoid federal income taxes.
This is ingeniously devious.
Yeah. Ali Jafar was sentenced 5 years in prison. Yusuf was sentenced to more than 4 years, and they were also ordered to pay $6 million in restitution and forfeit the profits from the scheme. All right, this will make you feel like an underachiever. Hari Magar is a veteran who lost both legs in an explosion in Afghanistan, and he just successfully reached the summit of Mount Everest.
Jeez.
Magar started his journey on April 17th of 2023, exactly 13 years after he lost his legs. He said that after his injury, he reached a low point in his life and battled alcoholism and depression. He said that it was pretty hard. It was a hard time. And at one point, I was just drinking too much to just control my pain and emotions and all the things. Next, he plans to visit Afghanistan to say thank you. And he said, whatever happens, it happens for good.
It's amazing.
Pretty cool.
We assume he climbed up on prosthetic legs.
Yeah, he did. He had a whole series
Not a wheelchair.
of prosthetic legs that he used.
It's interesting, Steve. I'm looking at some photos of him. He actually put those crampons at the base of his legs, and so he's able to walk up, and he sort of has, I guess, some thigh left, but his prosthetic legs start underneath that. So instead of having
that's ingenious
knee down to feet, he just goes at the knee is where the crampons are, and he hikes up from there.
Nick, I think if I ever do get the urge to climb Everest, I'll take that part of my leg off.
Right, yeah. Just pre-remove
put
that.
those on because they look a lot safer.
Yeah. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the B file for you. All right, we got a secret text word prize, and we need a caller to win. So, Kathy, give me a number call.
6.
All right, we'll take the 6th caller at 215-263-WMMR. You need to know the secret text word in order to win, so make sure that you do that right now. And if you'd like to text and you go to Villa Maria Academy in Malvern, we need to hear from you guys. We need to find out who the coolest teacher of the year is. So text the word teacher to 39333. We'll send you the voting link. We'll come back in a second. Lesson question, trash, music news coming up.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
I started.
We've talked about this, even in general, and wrestling goes through, the WWE, and you had been with Combat Zone as well. But right now we're in I think you have the best athletes who are doing it, but they're not necessarily Andre the Giant size.
Yes,
it's not that. So what you'll get is you're getting like uber stuntman level stuff going on from guys who are really, I think, more athletic than they've been in a while. Would you agree with that?
So I'll agree hands down. Like, we have the best athletes ever in the history of professional wrestling right now in WWE. However, we have a guy named Amos right now who's 7'4".
Well, you don't want to piss him off.
No. Right. But I'd say he's an even more impressive athlete than Andre was. As fantastic of an athlete as Andre was, and the way he would move around the ring. I'd say Amos, even though he's newer, he's got more potential athletically for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're always going to have the showstoppers, right? You got your Andre the Giants, your King Kong Bundys, your Hulk Hogan's, Big John Studd, the big dudes that are the showstoppers, The Rock,
Undertaker.
Sure. But you also, I mean, you have your, like, would you say pound for pound best wrestler of all time? Somebody like Shawn Michaels or...
You can absolutely argue that. Yeah, totally.
And listen, Shawn Michaels is not, he's not a twig.
A showstopper.
But he is also, he's just got such amazing athleticism that, and that's what people go to see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've talked about this many times, and it is not false praise to say that the people that we have who come in are the wrestlers are the best entertainers, the best with the audience. That's why they can port so easily, a la Dwayne Johnson, into movies. Yeah. You know how to do it, so a film career in your future could be possible. Yeah. And so with that, I mean, I don't think there's any kind of training for being in the public eye and for doing that sort of work that's any better than the WWE and this world you're in right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Like, just the experiences I had, even on my journey to get to WWE and traveling around the world and learning how to make a career as an independent wrestler. Right. Very similar to like an independent musician has to find their bookings that they work, that they enjoy working.
Sure, yeah.
Like, can make them a profit or get them noticed and like merchandising and stuff like that. And then just meeting connections and growing. That experience alone, like, I feel like I can do anything. I can take on whatever I need to.
When did you learn that portion of it? Because you go to high school and you're a good wrestler, right? And that's athletics. But then, did you go to drama club? Did you learn how to write a script? Because there are these storylines that, as just a guy who's competing in wrestling, that you're not worried about that. But then you get into the entertainment side of things, and it really changes the dynamic. So how did you and when did you learn that part of the business?
So I would say that the high school wrestling, if anything, it didn't really push me into the pro wrestling career. If anything, gave me a good foundation athletically to kind of not get hurt in training.
Right.
The performance side of everything and the creative side of everything, that kind of grew organically for me just over time, gradually, because I was independent. I didn't have somebody strictly coaching me on just, you need to do this here, you got to do this, at certain times. I had to kind of experiment and find that out on my own. Now, I did work for certain places that had very scripted out storylines and stuff like that. Right. And that's another thing I had in my wheelhouse, just based on that experience alone. So just, it wasn't one strict thing. I'd say it took me about 6 years to start to get comfortable and learn all of that and how to put it all together, just for me. That was my story. But just a very gradual experience learning the performance side of it.
What was mom and dad's reaction when
from architect?
From architect?
What do you
engineer?
mean?
Yeah, right.
Oh, we had hoped you would put that architecture stuff aside.
That was not the conversation that we had.
There's no work in architecture.
No, it was interesting. Like my family, they knew that I was super passionate about it, but they didn't really get professional wrestling. They didn't understand it. So to do it on an independent level, that's real scary as a parent, seeing your kid just go and just mess around at these shows. You don't even know what's happening there. He could get hurt. He's not making money. I'm making maybe $50 to $200 at most. That's a really good payday on an independent level, for real. So, like, that's pretty scary as a parent.
Do you know what's funny, though? If you were to go, and I wonder if you go to your parents and say, I would like to become a Hollywood stuntman, or because essentially in this, what they call sports entertainment, you know, there's just a nuanced difference between them, but still just somehow we think, but that has to, look, they look at your success.
Did you see the movie The Wrestler?
We talk about it all the time. It's amazing.
So, I was very lucky to be there when they were filming it at the arena in South Philly. My poster's in the movie.
That's awesome.
Little tidbit. But one of the things I thought was so cool about when Aronofsky created that story is that he did it kind of in conjunction with Black Swan.
Yeah.
And he considered, originally they were the same movie, and then he turned the ballerina into a stripper, and that's where Marissa Tomei's character came from. So he made Black Swan separately. But when they designed that story, it was the merging of like what people consider a low-class art form and what people consider a high-class art form between wrestling and ballet.
That's wild.
And showing the obsession that performers can go through trying to reach heights in the same thing. Yeah.
But it's such,
very cool.
It's such, and also I'll say this, in the evolution, you guys are always like whip smart. You know, there was this perception for the longest time, you know, these things, but to conduct these things and to do this at the level you do it, you know, is very intense. And talking about getting your thing, what is your gimmick? What is your, you know, because you've got to have that immediate high concept thing that the audience can go, okay, he's this guy, he's the heel, he's the you know, he's the bad guy or the good guy, or we don't know.
Bad guy, guys.
So let me ask you, given your druthers, what appeals to you more? The heel or the hero, or
being a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
I like both. I'm rare. Like actually, most people would say that like, I like being a heel because that's easier. It's easier to get people pissed off at you instead of you know, people to cheer for you authentically.
But I always
enjoy
love
both.
I always love the transition out of the bad guy who's suddenly like, wait a second, he might be good, because the audience tends to like, we understand this guy now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They know.
So many of them,
follow.
we're bad and then become good.
I think historically, too, those are the most successful kind of characters that take off. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin's a perfect example, where he came in when he started doing the Stone Cold character. Like, he was just badass, no nonsense, but he was beating up people that people really cared about. And you know, that was not enjoyed for a lot of fans. And then they started realizing he doesn't take crap from anybody.
Yeah.
And then it was a natural, organic turn. And then he became the biggest star in wrestling at the time.
Hey, do you as a wrestler get a say in your storyline? Can you suggest things at least?
So the most surprising thing that I've learned about working with WWE is how collaborative everything is.
Really? Okay. That's awesome.
Fans are usually surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of wrestlers who are trying to make it there are very surprised to hear that a lot of the time.
Okay.
Drew, you get to perform in front of fans again soon in person. That it's been a year and a half, right?
Yeah, man.
And
we got
so
fans coming back.
And when and where is that going to happen?
So I believe it's the second week in July. We're doing a tour in Dallas. It's going to be SmackDown in Houston, and I believe Money in the Bank is that weekend in Fort Worth, and then Raw, which is the show that I'm currently a part of, will be in Dallas. And then from there, we just kind of go.
That's cool.
You know what was the proof that what you guys do is effective is that, bereft of an audience when you were conducting it, it sort of looked like a wild stage play, like Arthur Miller meets wrestling, and yet the fan base stayed, for the most part, locked in.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, so if you didn't have the ability to riff and to, you know, it was just such a weird thing. The audio from a lot of those matches is some of the funniest stuff, because you know, you always hear the crowd and the murmur and the whole thing and all that punctuating.
Yeah.
And suddenly it became, you know, like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? You know, and it's this weird thing, but you guys were able to do it. You know,
that was an amazing experience. Not in a good way, but just not in the best way. It was just unique and amazing to be part of that. Like,
Dead Don't Die. They will be performing at MMRBQ 2023. September 16th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Shinedown, of course, Billy Idol, Larkin Poe, Aaron Jones, also Dirty Honey, Finger 11, Tiger Cub, and local shots artist Vixen 77. And the Preston and Steve side stage with live band karaoke and a Jackie Bam Bam DJ set.
That's very cool.
So we got a lot planned for you. in the fall. Tickets available at Ticketmaster, and they start just $25 on the lawn. So you can go to WMMR.com for the details. Very, very easy to find it all. We're doing lesson question, right?
Yeah, but you got to give away the text word prize.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We were looking for caller number 6, and that is who we're going to go to now. It's Jay. Hi, Jay. Morning.
Hey, jabronis.
Cool word. All right, Jay, give me another cool word. What's our secret text word?
Giggle.
Giggle. That is correct, Jay. Hang on, bud. Got yourself some tickets to see comedian Andrew Schultz, who's going to be performing Saturday, July 29th at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. And tickets go on sale tomorrow, by the way, at 10 a.m. You can go to theoceanac.com for tickets and information. We grabbed a random text, and we're giving them the prize as well, and it's Steve Harris from Ambler, Pennsylvania. So, Steve, you get to go see Andrew Schultz as well. Saturday, July 29th at Ocean Casino Resort in AC. We're going to give away something else now. It's today's lesson question, and we're going to give away a pair of same-day ride and water park tickets to Maury's Piers in Wildwood. Nick, I'm going off the board.
Oh, all right. That's exciting.
Nick gives me the series of questions to ask, and today I'm doing a different one. We were speaking about a TV show that made Casey leave the studio this morning.
Yes. Gotcha.
What show was that? 215-263-WMMR. You'd had enough. We were talking about a TV show this morning and actually made Casey leave the studio. Let's see if you know the answer. 215-263-WMMR. Call right now.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by PGW. Improve the comfort of your home and lower energy bills with a PGW Energy Sense rebate. Up to $1,400 in savings with new home heating equipment. Learn more at pgwenergysense.com. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, while Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are working on patching up their relationship, the pause on their impending nuptials is staying in effect. Fox says she's remaining cautious and will only go ahead with 3 of the 6 planned Machine Gun Kelly tattoos on her face.
Oh, my God.
Kim Kardashian sharing an update on her journey to become a lawyer. Kim says that while she has yet to officially pass the California bar exam, she is now licensed to be a gavel.
Oh.
And finally, Sean Penn voicing his support for the Writers Guild of America, saying during a Friday press conference, Penn called the potential use of AI to replace writers a human obesity, and then added that writers would have corrected that to obscenity.
All right, we're going to see if you know the answer to this question. What show made Casey actually leave the studio this morning? And we are going to go to Tom, see if we can get the answer. Hey, Tom, good morning. All right. Tom, what show made Casey leave today?
Vanderpump Rules.
It's true. It's true. Hang on, Tom. Got yourself a pair of same-day ride and water park tickets to Maury's Piers in Wildwood. Unlimited rides on 3 piers and both water parks. And it's also this week's big friggin' deal. You can get 1 same-day ride and water park combo ticket to Maury's Piers for just $70. Available now through Sunday while they last, okay? They're going to run out. Go to WMMR.com and use the keyword deal, and you can get the big friggin' deal.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah! I can handle things. I'm smart.
All right, it's brought to you by Coors Light. Join us, the Preston and Steve Show, live from Keaton's in North Wildwood. Tomorrow, it says tomorrow.
What?
Day after tomorrow for the official opening of the Jersey Shore. I'll be there starting at 6 a.m. and it's brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill down the shore. So 3 months after a shocking physical attack following a Def Leppard show in Florida, Rick Allen has finally spoken out about the bizarre incident. He was on Good Morning America and he said, I heard a couple of steps and then I just saw this flash and next thing I knew, I was on the ground. I landed on my backside. I hit my head on the pavement. And afraid he'd be attacked again after being pushed down, Allen, who, of course, had lost his left arm in 1984 in a car crash, put up his right hand and told his alleged attacker, I am no threat to you.
Yeah.
He said, I don't think he knew who I was, but he must have seen that I wasn't a threat because, you know, I've only got one arm. Police arrested Hartley shortly after the alleged attack near the site of the assault outside of the Four Seasons in Fort Lauderdale, which also allegedly included an assault on a woman who came to Allen's aid. Hartley was later charged with 2 counts of battery and 4 counts of criminal mischief and abusing an elderly or disabled adult. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges. A police report at the time noted that Hartley hid behind a pillar outside the hotel entrance while Allen smoked and then allegedly rushed at the drummer at full speed and knocked him to the ground. The report said that Allen hit his head on the ground, causing injury, and that when a woman ran out to help Allen, Hartley allegedly attacked her as well.
Brutal.
He was arrested a short time later after police found him at another hotel, allegedly breaking car windows. Allen told
he seems upset.
GMA that he is coping by playing the drums, specifically for the long-running band's first show since the attack, which is going to be Monday night in Sheffield, England. Hailstorm's Lizzie Hale has opened up about her experience with anxiety and imposter syndrome. In an interview, she said, even though we've come a long way in the past few generations to break the stigma that has long shadowed mental health, there are still so many of us having a hard time finding a safe space. She said, personally, I've suffered from depression, feeling like I'm trapped at the bottom of a well, watching the world above go by without me, as well as paralyzing anxiety and imposter syndrome. These are battles that I still fight today. And by being honest and vulnerable about my own struggles, I want to give others hope, meaning you are not alone.
Think about that. She got a successful band, all this stuff. You'd think she'd have just no problem whatsoever with this stuff, yet she fights it all the time.
Yeah, it can get to anyone. Eric Clapton led the Jeff Beck Royal Albert Hall tribute shows in London last night and Monday. The concerts featured performances by the Jeff Beck Band, Rod Stewart, Ron Wood, Gary Clark Jr., Billy Gibbons, Imelda May, John McLaughlin, Doyle Brummel, Susan Tedeschi, Derek Trucks, Joss Stone, Robert Randolph, Olivia State, and Johnny Depp, among others.
It's funny. There's one glaring name off that list.
Hasselhoff.
That son of a bitch.
Again.
Where is he? What's he up to?
Jeff Beck, of course, passed away January 10th after contracting bacterial meningitis. He was 78 years old. Among the highlights on the first night were Rod Stewart and Ron Wood reprising their late 60s stint with the Jeff Beck Group with the standards I Ain't Superstitious and Rock My Plimsoll. Ron Wood led the charge through Beck's Bolero, and Clapton took the lead on the Beck-era Yardbirds classic Shapes of Things. Rod and the band tackled his and Jeff Beck's top 10 hit remake of Curtis Mayfield's People Get Ready, as well as the 80s hit Infatuation, which had Jeff Beck on guitar.
Great stuff.
Yeah, Kirk Hammett joined Billy Gibbons and Johnny Depp to perform John Lennon's Isolation, which Depp and Beck had recently recorded. I thought this was nice. Taylor Swift's song called You're On Your Own, Kid has helped Stevie Nicks grieve the loss of her friend and Fleetwood Mac bandmate Christine McVie over the last several months. A clip shows Nicks telling an audience at her Atlanta show on Monday, thank you to Taylor Swift for doing this thing for me, and that is writing a song called You're On Your Own, Kid. That is the sadness of how I feel, she said. As long as Chris was, even on the other side of the world, we didn't have to talk on the phone. We weren't really phone buddies. And then we would go back to Fleetwood Mac, and we would walk in and it would be like, little sister, how are you? And it was never a minute had passed, never an argument in our entire 47 years. So when it was the two of us were on our own. Kids, we always were. And now I'm having to learn to be on my own kid by myself.
It's sad.
So you've helped me do that. Thank you. She says about this song. It's helped her out. So
that's very cool. That's why you say, when we say, Taylor Swift has legitimacy.
Yeah.
She's a solid songwriter.
You're talking about a living music legend here
Yeah.
who's saying, this person helped me out with this this song.
They're going to be playing the same building because Stevie Nicks is with Billy Joel at the Link on June 16th.
Okay.
And Taylor Swift just did 3 sold-out nights there.
Maybe that landlord who set his place on fire will be there to see the concert.
Of course. I mean, it was his
Can you get this note to Billy?
So, Steve, you sent me this article. This is interesting. A gentleman by the name of Chaz Newby, a bass player who once performed with the Beatles, has died at the age of 81. I've never heard of this guy.
Never heard of this guy. You've heard just about everything.
He was a member of John's first band, the Quarrymen, and news of his passing was announced by the Cavern Club in Liverpool, where the Beatles first rose to prominence in the early 60s. They had written on a Facebook post, Chaz stepped in for the Beatles for a few dates when Stuart Sutcliffe stayed in Hamburg, and laterally he played for the Quarrymen.
You with us all the way, buddy, all the way.
They said
you're fired.
They said, interestingly, he was also the first left-handed bass guitarist in the Beatles.
Huh.
R.I.P. Chaz Newby, thoughts as well as wishes from everybody at the Cavern Club.
Don't you think you would have heard, I mean, over the years and years and years you've been focused on the Beatles, as have I, this name never came up.
Well, he was never a member of the band. Stuart Sutcliffe was, and I guess he just kind of filled in for him.
In that group, though, but everyone grabbed a piece of fame. You know, everyone glommed onto something.
John Lennon reportedly wanted Chaz to continue on tour with the band when they headed west to Germany in the 1960s. However, Chaz declined the offer to tour with the Beatles.
You guys are going nowhere.
And he instead returned to the university. And he said in 2012, music was never going to be a living for me. I wanted to do chemistry. He said John, Paul, George, they just wanted to be musicians. Chaz eventually became a school teacher and later insisted that he didn't have any regrets about his career choice. He said, people sometimes don't believe me when I say I have no regrets, but I really haven't. So he has passed. And then one final bit of news. This Memorial Day weekend, MMR is queuing up the turntable, and we are playing vinyl. It is a vinyl-y summer weekend. Listen every hour this weekend for another great album side played in its entirety.
That's pretty cool.
I was walking down the hall, and Bill gave me some vinyl. It was the 40th anniversary vinyl issue of Signals from Rush.
Wow.
And it's a picture disc and everything. I was like, oh, man, that is so cool.
This is Pierre's complete thing. He's going to be freaking out.
So you can win some great vinyl, too. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the complete studio albums. Volume 1, that is 9 studio albums on vinyl, so we're giving that away, yeah. So text album to 39333 for a link to the entry page and see a list of the great album sides that you'll hear over the weekend. And it's sponsored by Trinity Rehab. I'm going by there today. So make sure you listen up this weekend. Vinyl-y Summer Weekend, which is awesome. And there you go. That's what I have in music news for you. All right, we have one final break to take. Let's do that very thing. Come back in a second. Wrap it up with Pierre. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Extremely dedicated, and like there was no way he was going to stop the show. He had to keep the show going. And we did. We did it.
Do you think anything's going to stay? Is there anything that you guys gleaned from that will stay with the, post-COVID world of wrestling?
I think technologically we advanced a lot of things.
Yeah.
Building the Thunderdome, which is what they called the live stage that they built. Testing things with like augmented reality for people's entrances and just that kind of stuff all got laser focused on because we were in a sterile environment at first. So you'll see a lot of that carry on to the live events in new ways that you probably haven't seen yet, for sure.
I'm going through your Instagram, which is just it's definitely a fun scroll here.
Yeah,
but
thanks, man.
There's a picture of you and the Nature Boy. I mean, that is, for a fan, like you're a fan before you were an employee, right? Like so. And it just says always an honor. So when I read that, I go, oh, so you've met and hung out with Ric Flair more than one time. Like that's got to be so cool.
It's awesome. He comes by all the time, even if he's not featured on the show. His daughter, extremely successful wrestler, Charlotte Flair, very talented. So he'll come by and like watch her perform, or he'll just come and support the other wrestlers. And
Well,
Rick's awesome.
I got an email from a guy. I wasn't going to say anything I didn't know you had a connection with Ric Flair. I got an email from a guy who was desperately trying to get Ric Flair to be the best man at his wedding.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted me to ask you about it. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
He's got a wedding reception website.
No way.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's also a moil.
Yeah, need a bris done.
But honestly,
Ric Flair was my moil.
How much is that guy willing to pay, and how much is what's the number for Ric Flair to do that?
Right there.
Probably.
I gotta imagine a couple 100,000.
I've mentioned this before, but I grew up just as a kid detesting, hating I thought he was the most vile human being, Ric Flair. I hated him. He was so mean to everybody. He was such a show-off. And it wasn't until I was a full-grown adult, well into my 40s, that I was on YouTube, and I pulled up a video of, like, Ric Flair's greatest rants. And I didn't know how much entertainment that guy had given me as a kid, and I just fell in love with him. Because I literally, I was like scared of the guy when I was a kid.
That's how I felt about Sergeant Slaughter. I was like legit. I was like, oh my, because I saw him like whipping some guy, and I was like, dude, he's beating that guy with a whip. Like, that's right. Like, what if he comes to my house?
It's so great though that becomes that's the stuff you carry with you through your life.
He stole Harley Race's cowboy hat and crumpled it up, and I'm like, you don't do that, And I was just, but I didn't realize it until later that it was actually a really, those memories are so fun to think about. And it was something special, man. And you're creating those memories for some people.
It's surreal. Like, that's it's really cool.
All right.
Don't take it for granted.
So Ric Flair is undoubtedly a legend, and everything that the credit is credit due, right? But I was texting with a friend yesterday, and I am so exhausted by the Ric Flair woo at Phillies games and Flyers games. It personally drives me nuts. Have you heard it, and do you have an opinion on that? Like, have you ever heard like fans? They do the woo.
So of course, I will be in a crowd randomly outside, and people will say woo.
Right.
And it's like just knowing where it comes from. It's really cool. I take pride in being a part of that community. The yes chants. Have you heard those?
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Exactly. Someone who I was very close. I'm very close with. So like that kind of stuff is awesome.
But it turned to no for a while too, or something, right? That confused me. Or he was saying no, or.
Well, you're a good guy. Yeah.
He's how it works, man. He's been by here a bunch of times. I like him a lot.
He's great.
I never get tired of the woos. I'm okay with them all the time. My neighbor across the street from me, whenever he comes outside, if we're outside, he goes, woo!
Seriously?
And he's older, too.
Well, what reaction do you give him when you go
I give him a woo back.
So he's going to do it every time.
And then I do it to him. So now when I see him, I go, woo! And
That's your thing. He thinks you're best friends.
It's like Screaming Slayer, right?
That's right. Here is a storyline I'd love to see for you guys.
Okay. By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Drew Gulak. I just want to reset from WWE.
Thanks.
Here. Yep.
And I think this opens up a new, perhaps a new audience. What about the Paul brothers? Maybe we call those guys out because they love the boxing and the MMA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see him get in the ring with you.
Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
Yeah,
we had Logan Paul at WrestleMania this year.
He actually, and the reaction was pretty good. From what and you can dismiss this as BS if it's not the case, but they talked to some of the wrestlers and they said they gave him props.
Yeah, I'd like to see a tag team match.
I mean, I think there's potential in your storyline idea. Yeah, but I will say that celebrities coming in, it's always like it's a good way to cross over and bring new audiences. We had Bad Bunny this year.
Oh my God,
he's like one of the biggest artists.
Well, what about Dua Lipa? I think maybe if you bring her in.
Yeah. Okay. If you can,
she's
you want to make it happen. We can.
Oh, he's got a lot of ideas.
Some phone numbers.
Like a plot line that mimics Steel Magnolias would be really good.
Right. Exactly.
That was not my idea.
No.
Terrible.
Now, I also read your younger brother had wrestled as well.
Yeah. So we did it together. We trained together. And
he didn't make the cut though, or did he not want to try for
no
the big show?
He was, I guess he didn't really get to the WWE level, but in the independent career, had a very successful independent wrestling career.
What do you think, like the big leagues in any major sports? So to become the amount of people that play football and the amount of people that make it to the NFL is minuscule. It's microscopic. What about wrestling? Because there are so many independent wrestling groups out there.
So I would say, from training, from people who start training, I'd say it's about 1 in 10 who continue on just to wrestle in general. And then on the independents, now there's more jobs than ever in wrestling with, AEW starting up on TNT, WWE just expanding.
Yeah.
And then some other promotions, being able to actually, offer decent wages for people now. So it's better now than it's ever been, but I'd still say it's about 1 in maybe 100 to try to go on to really maybe even 1,000 depending on how many people there are. It's a pretty small amount.
Do you remember your first match in the big league?
Oh, in WWE. Yeah. I was a part of the Cruiserweight Classic when they came in. It's all timing. Like, if anyone's listening out there as an independent wrestler, it's all timing. Just keep working.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a tryout with them in 2015. I did not get hired from the tryout. They could only take one person from my group. Out of 72 people, there was maybe 5 or 6 wrestlers who were experienced there. The rest were all pro athletes. They could only hire one of us. So the rest of us were all told, maybe something in the future, guys. You did great, thanks. So I was just like, okay, just be patient. And then a year later, they started this thing called the Cruiserweight Classic, which they wanted to honor like the athleticism and the history of like smaller wrestlers, being more competitive. And they created this tournament, and they needed, as William Regal told me, they needed groundsmen, and I was a prominent groundsman.
Right.
So they brought me in for that. I did pretty well, made it to the second round, had a good showing. Then they took that show and they took our division and made it a featured attraction on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
So before I was ever offered a WWE contract, I was wrestling on Monday Night Raw and their local, their pay-per-views, their monthly pay-per-views. And so I would go from my independent wrestling show
to Raw
to the pay-per-view show, and
Wow.
then drive to Raw the overnight and do the Cruiserweight division. And then later on in the year, I was able to earn a full-time contract. They started up 205 Live, which is still going on today. And that was their first like experimental streaming show that they created based on the Cruiserweight division. So like I got in at a very cool like, technology.
Beautiful day today. It's going to be like right in the zone. 81 degrees and sunshine. Just
gorgeous.
Fantastic. Tomorrow we're dropping 10 degrees, 71. Still not bad. On then Friday, 75 and sunny. Beautiful headed into the weekend. Shorecast, we're looking at mid-60s, no rain on Friday. So that's all right. We can cope with that, no problem. And it'll be a good shore weekend. Maybe some clouds on Saturday and Sunday, but I'm not seeing like, the little graphic isn't the raindrops.
There's nothing on here.
No, there's nothing on here. So that's good. We like it when there's nothing on there in the weather.
We'll do it live. It.
So, thank you for the 30-second interview, Nate Berkus.
Yeah.
And thank you, Nate Berkus. That's all I have to say about that. He was a nice guy, though.
I was able to find out a lot more than I really knew originally. Yeah.
You can see all of his outdoor designing at Great Wolf Lodge.
There you go.
Yeah, and he's redone all these villas and stuff, so it looks pretty cool. And that's all I have to think about that. It is Pierre Robert. Not going to wrestle with the chair today.
I don't have to wrestle with the chair today.
All right, good. Are those chairs on rollers or not?
No, they're bulky.
Okay.
What happened to the nice rolling black chairs?
I don't know. They started to fall apart, I guess.
And they actually had armrests on them too, the other chairs.
Yeah, and I don't know how these ended up in here, but they don't have wheels on them, so it's hard to maneuver them around.
This is the loudest chair I've ever owned in my life. Like, it makes noise all the freaking time, and I have made note of it, and it still does it.
Have you?
I filled out a ticket.
Oh, you did? You filled out a ticket.
I did the ticket.
Good luck with that.
That's our procedure here at work. If you need something fixed, you have to do what's called fill out a ticket.
Wait,
Listen.
I don't know how to do that.
And so to fill out a ticket, you have to log into a site, and it tells me that my login has been suspended, so I can't even log
Write a
in and
ticket.
submit a ticket. I can't.
Submit a ticket on your ticket.
We can skip forward from all that. I'll bring my WD-40.
There you go.
Right. I should have.
That actually will work.
It'll work. Yeah.
Hell yeah, it works on everything. I use it on my hair.
Ah, nice. Doesn't squeak.
Secret was.
That's it. That's the secret.
Wow. All right. Yes.
Right.
Nothing.
Oh.
Well, many things,
Okay.
but nothing.
Nothing for now.
Yeah.
How about this?
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter.
N as in neurotic.
All right. We have an N, and we have 2 more letters to go. We are going to give away the travel table from Shift Outdoors. It is a portable umbrella table. It's super lightweight. It carries like a backpack, and the table and umbrella easily set up in just a few minutes. The anchor mat will keep it safely, even in the gust ocean breezes, keep it safely anchored, okay? Check it out at SHFT Outdoors. There's no I in that, all right? SHFT outdoors.com, and you get free shipping on purchases over $100. We're going to be giving away one of those at Keenan's, which is pretty cool. What's happening today, man?
And there's no I in team.
No, not that either.
Okay,
You are
just
true.
remember
You are
that.
correct
First of all, I want to thank the crew at Primo's Hoagies. They are feeding our crew and bringing food for the revivalists who will be. We will be recording the session today and playing it back in a week or so.
Excellent.
And it's the debut of our brand new performance space.
Yes.
And Rodney sent me a picture about 1 a.m. You know, the reason you don't get your tickets punched, our engineering and whatever you IT and all those people, they work so hard on so many. They have so many balls in the air that they don't always get to every detail, but they care about every detail and they work their asses off, and they've made the room look quite beautiful. So I've never seen it look, in fact, so cool. And so that's cool. And thanks to Primo Hoagies for coming by. And what else? We will have tickets for the Dave Matthews Band, night number 1, the Friday of the 2 nights coming in July, and workforce blocks of the Black Crowes and Lenny Kravitz and Bob Dylan, the birthday boy.
Wow. That's right.
Yes.
His birthday today. You are correct. All right. Let me take a moment to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. And tomorrow's program, comedian Andy Haynes will be here in our studio and will be one day closer to the Keenan's Irish Pub.
The Carnage.
Opening of the Jersey Shore. Coors Light sponsored. Eggs with Pegs live broadcast that we've been doing for a gazillion years. And we're looking forward to seeing you there. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.